Yeah. Oh, yeah. One day we'll get mic stands that aren't squeaky. Oh boy. Getting ready here. Hold up. There we go. Oh, yeah. One more V important thing. Where you at? Ah, look at that. That almost worked. Hello, everybody. Who's out there? Let's get this music dialed in here. I'm all whacked out by sounds. Yeah, that's a little better. You need a nice bed. The kids need a nice bed. Hype up. Hype up. You need that hype stinger. Oh, I took it off the pad already. You can't hear it. What's up, kids? Welcome to the Billy Vegas show program. I need a pop filter. Very exciting day. It's Friday, which means so little these days. But nonetheless, it's Friday. Some people work and it means something to them, I guess. The new normal, they call it. Hold on, let me just tell this guy no while he's messaging me about trying to buy shit of mine that I'm selling online. Hey, can I buy that thing? What do you want for it? $200. That's fair. I'll give you 50. No. How about 75? No. If I wanted that, I would have put it at least closer to that. What are we doing? All right. Not like a good rant to kick it off. 843 Rebel TV. 843 Rebel TV. The phone lines are open. Very exciting Friday evening pod video cast of sorts, where we will be sitting here and chatting with each other. I'll take your phone calls. We'll talk about the coronavirus again, because that's all everyone wants to or can talk about. We'll talk about what it's like near you. We'll talk about what it's like near me. We'll talk about what it's like being quarantined. We'll talk about what it's like to not be sick. Or maybe if you're sick, maybe we'll talk to you about what it's like to be sick. You tell me. 843 Rebel TV. I think the number should be on the screen. Let me see. I could probably add that. Not like working on the fly, you know what I mean? Let's just throw these jamboreens up in here. Whoa! Oh, that one's not live to you. All right, cool. So you can't see that. But I can make it come in real smooth just like that. Oh, yeah. Nice. Taking your calls, 843 Rebel TV. Feel free to give us a call. See, I feel if I put that in the top, maybe if this is like a snapshot on the searchy search, people could see it and be like, oh, yeah, I can call in. We'll see. Always grinding out here. Always grinding. Thanks for joining, Potty D. Next level. Y'all MVPs. I think I could give like MVP badges or something now on the Twitches. Something like that. Levels look alright. That looks pretty good. So yeah, we'll be rambling, filling some time, hopefully with some phone calls. If not, we'll just ramble and go down the rabbit holes like we do. But at 7 o'clock, I do have a special guest. Oh, I could do this. This is funny. Special guest, Alan Evans of SOULIVE. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, yeah. So he's got a new bit he's doing online. It's called Kicking It With Al. And it's like he's just hooking up with creative people and chatting and seeing what's up with them. Because that's what fuels him, which is super cool. So I reached out to him, hit him up. He was into it. And 7 o'clock, he's free. So we're going to see if Skype works with all this. I haven't incorporated Skype yet with this platform, but I don't foresee any issues. Maybe a second of downtime, but it should be cool. So we'll chat with him. It's more of like him interview me, I'll interview him. It's not even like an interview. It's kicking it, bro. It's gonna be kicking it with Al. Not a big deal. No big deal. Just kicking it with Al. I've only seen him in Broken Ball. Only seen Solo a million times. Not a big deal. Just gonna be kicking it with him on the phone. Not a big deal. And a video. MBD, guys. I got a jam session booked with him too soon. No, it's not true. That's clearly not true. 843 Rebel TV, 843 Rebel TV. Feel free to give us a call. Feel free to shoot some questions in the chat. Feel free to throw free content this way. The dumpster of content that is the internet. Send me your garbage, and I will turn it into gold like spinstress. Cheers to everyone. It's past 5 o'clock. I hope you're having your little beverage for yourself. All right. Let's see what's going on out here. The whole internet's looks like the back-end interface for this whole jamboree that I'm running here is a little down. No big deal. That seems normal. Everything's overloaded. Everyone, including your aunt, is actually streaming live right now on some platform, one or the other. 'Tis the season to be streaming. Oh no, I dropped it. It's all right, I got it. Don't worry. We got it. It's okay. Anyway, everyone's streaming these days. You go on Instagram, it's literally nothing but 13 people live at once. A lot of people thinking they're on television shows. A lot of people just, I don't know, thinking they're FaceTiming. It's really not that entertaining. But entertaining in the sense that, you know, this is the new shit for some people. So people want to adopt. Like if we go to, let's see, we could probably pull some up right now. That would be terrible. Let's be honest. Like you see some famous people on there, and it's like, oh, clearly you're quarantined from your makeup artist because he ain't looking so great. But it's okay. Let's see who's live right now. Of course, why would anybody be live right now? As I say, there's a million people live at once. Whatever, you get the gist. You've seen them. Go watch some of those live videos. They're some hot garbage. Some great stuff out there. Also, some great people doing some great things on the internets. I don't go on the Facebook. I have a Facebook account, but I really don't go on ever because it seems to be a cesspool of social media garbage. That said, let's see if I can pull it up over here. Let's see if I can pull it up. Busking Down the House. A friend of mine, previous bandmate's wife, I believe, put this together. Our mission here, it's called Busking Down the House. It's on Facebook. Our mission here is to come together during this crisis and put our sources together to help the music industry while it is temporarily out of order. Essentially, they're facilitating a lot of live music streams and giving the artists a venue to stream and pick up tips. Everyone's still got to make money. Just because you're sitting home these days don't mean you're not making money. That don't mean you can't make money. Don't mean you ain't got bills. That's for sure. So they're doing great work. So if you're on the Facebooks, go over there to Busking Down the House. Give them a follow. Tell them I sent you. And they'll say hi. That'll be cool. But they're doing great work. I saw that was cool. It seemed to be a good thing on Facebook. A rare good thing going down on Facebook. Very cool. Good work by them. What else we got? What else was interesting today? It's a beautiful day out here. My neck of the woods. Very exciting. That's about it. Another day of quarantine. Didn't really read a lot of news today, but I will get into this is what I've been doing. I've been kind of avoiding morning news broadcasts. You know, the news could be a bit much. Not that I don't stay informed, but TV news is a bit much. So what I've been doing is just reading online a couple of the stories that come up, the headlines and stuff, and just, reading the headline and scrolling past it and just kind of getting my daily coronavirus news in, just so I could stay abreast of any developments. Nothing big. A lot of hype. Got to use my P100 for the first time today, as recommended by the Funk Doctor. Oh, yes. Where'd you get your hands on a P100? Next level. They're hard to come by these days. I feel like I ordered a P99 from Amazon weeks ago, like before all the hype of this started. Like just when it started coming out, I was like, oh, maybe I need one of those good ones. Still haven't gotten it. I don't know where it is. It's probably coming here from China anyway. I'd guess. I don't know. I should check the Amazon status on that, but I certainly don't have it yet. That said, yeah, P100s. Those are supposed to be the shit. Oh shit. Nice. Good move. Respect to your pops. Yeah, get that P100 mask for sure. That's our resident doctor expert, the Funk Doctor, giving us all the medical knowledge the other day. I think I meant to set up with him. He should be calling into the show vid chat at some point. I don't think tonight. I think he's busy tonight, but maybe next week or maybe over the weekend or something. That should be cool. Talk to an actual medical professional instead of just sitting here and saying weird shit and guessing at medical advice. Usually a good idea. Talking to professionals, not listening to me. So that's cool. Let's see what the coronavirus is doing these days. Let's see if I can just arrange this a wee little bit better. There we go. A little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little production. Good job, production team. So we'll just bring this in here. Coronavirus cases, refresh. Last I checked, it went up exponentially. I think it was like 300 something last I checked, which couldn't have been that long ago. Now we're approaching 600,000. I think on the air the other night, or yesterday, all the days are blurring together. We became the #1 country in the world in cases, which is great. Really good job, guys. Really getting that gold medal. Good thing you're all staying home and washing your hands. Cool. Let's see what the numbers are. This is from Worldometers, which I seem to be pretty decent. This is morbid numbers, but let's look at it a little bit. This is the real life. This is new. This is life now. We need to know. You need to understand what's happening a little bit. Wow, we've passed 100,000 cases in the USA. 15,000 new cases as of today. 1,500 deaths. Italy's got close to 10,000 deaths. That's a terrible death rate. They have less total cases and over 7 times our deaths. Or 5 times. Man. Yeah. Let's talk serious critical cases. This is, now from our conversation the other day with the Funk Doctor, the serious critical number is an important number. Because that is what we could look into this probably. We should look into this before we ramble about it. But that number is actually the number of people who are, life support level, requiring respirators and things like that. That's what you hear in the news. Respirators are a big issue. So I would have to think that there's more than 2,500 respirators needed right now. But I'll do my research for the medical doctor show when we schedule him to call in, because that'll be a fun chat. But worldwide, guys, we're going to pass 600,000 soon. We're getting there. 590. I don't mean to make light of it, but, gotta giggle somewhere. It's pretty goddamn bad. This number just keeps going up and up and up. And that's hence pandemic. Good job, Billy. That's what a goddamn pandemic is. 843 Rebel TV, 843 Rebel TV, taking your phone calls live on the air, assuming this shit still works over here. Let's see. Looks like it does. Let's do the bit. If you call, let's see. Do the bit. No, don't call anybody. If you call, this will happen. Oh, see? Well, that'll be bad. Let's see if we can fix that. This is working. Let's try that again. Ooh, see, the ringing ring's not working. Gotta get this fixed. There you go. You call 843-REBEL-TV. This thing happens. Everyone hears it, and then you get to talk. You can troll me. You can make jokes. You can plug your shit. You can ask questions. You can backlog questions for later when Alan Evans is on the show. Whatever you want to do. Talk coronavirus. We had a great chat the other day. We had a free think session on here, I think we called it, and it was really fantastic. Talked to people in Paris, California, New York, Maine, Florida about just what it's like near them living this life. 'Cause, you know, I don't know about you guys. I'm not traveling much. I'm not on the phone with people in these other corners of the world. So it's nice to get on a video chat with people that I know and what's going on. Really interesting, the shit that's going on in Paris. He actually messaged me today and said that, you know, they passed all this ridiculous stuff in Paris for them to take care of their people. Now till 8-ish. Bam, 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 and what did he message me? I laughed when I read this morning. 1 week of full lockdown, 36% increase in domestic violence. Stats from the Parisian police this morning, which is hilarious. Yeah. Nice link, Jerry. Yeah, so, you know, that's great. So we got the coronavirus everybody's worried about. Yeah, I kind of want to know what it's like around the country. I'm not even just saying that for fodder. I'm actually curious, genuinely curious what it's like near other people that don't live near me, or, you know, in the middle of the country or on the other side of the world. I'm actually genuinely curious. I only know my small little circle. So if you call in, let's chat coronavirus. Or, you know, let's chat pizza. Whatever you want to talk, guys. We got it. Lucky for you, we could do it all here. I hope you're enjoying a nice beverage. What am I drinking here? This is remnants from last night. This is a nice Bordeaux Blanc from last night. Ahoy, Joe Cat, 1515. Nice to see you, buddy. The Funk Doctor. We were just talking about medical stuff. Craziness. So, what else we got here? Let's see. We can go to, is it canceled yet? Great website. Well, let's move over to actual news. Here's a question that I thought the other day, and I don't think I discussed with anybody. You know, what would the real news be now? Like, what's the news that isn't coronavirus? Is there other shit going on that no one's talking about? The only other thing that I hear outside of coronavirus talk is Tom Brady is now a Buccaneer. That's the only two things that I've heard really in the last 2 weeks, news-wise. And the fucking NFL is popping out news blasts all the time about people going to different teams. They clearly don't give a shit about the coronavirus, except for canceling their season. But as far as my Instagram goes, they're just popping shit all the time. Biden, I don't even know what the story is, though. What's the story? He won, he's smashing Bernie. Is that it? That's probably like the best thing for them. No news for them. The last thing you heard from the Democratic Party is Biden smashes Bernie and delegates heading into convention. Why is Bernie still here? And then it just goes away. That's good. Is Bernie coming out saying shit? I don't follow I try not to follow the political angle too much. And how China is the new world leader. Is China are they supporting the world? What's China doing these days? Trump orders General Motors to make ventilators under Defense Production Act. Just give me a different article. I'm not clicking all of your fucking clickbait to read your goddamn story. Nothing bothers me more. This isn't the best site for news. I know there's definitely a better site. I just don't know what it is. You know what it's probably going to be? Let's be honest. It's going to be... I could trust Reddit all times. But... Here we go. Boris Johnson's got coronavirus. Mm-hmm. I remember reading that this morning. Drudge is probably not a bad place. Let's take a look at the Reddit. It's a good repository of articles from all over. What do we got here? I hope New York doesn't ultimately need 30,000 ventilators, but I don't operate on opinion and hope. I operate on facts and data and science. All the projections say we'll need 30 to 40,000 ventilators, so that's what we'll strive to have. Yeah, Cuomo, getting it done. Woman who purposefully coughed on $35K worth of grocery store food, charged with 4 felonies. Now here's some news. What? Get this fucking head out of here. Woman who coughed on $35K worth of grocery store food, charged with 4 felonies. Huh? 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 What are you doing? Oh, I can make this a little bigger up here. Let me fix that. Oh, you don't even see this. Let me fix this so you can see my little news story here. Let's get you dialed in. Too many goddamn windows over here. Dun dun. There we go. I can probably enlarge. Enhance. Yeah, what is this? What the hell kind of headline is this? I hope someone got a screenshot of that. I just wanted to stare at this headline and... disgusting. Let's see what this actually says here. A woman who played a twisted prank. This wasn't... they didn't lead with that? I thought this was like an accidental coughing. Today was a very challenging day. A woman who the police known to be a chronic problem in the community walked into the chain's Hanover town store, proceeded to purposely cough on our fresh produce in a small section of our bakery, meat case, and grocery. When did this happen? Just today? 26th. Is that today? All the days are the same. Yesterday? All right. Wow. You're a dope. Good. You should be charged with felonies. Fucking idiots. Wow. That's amazing. People are... There's some special people out there. Ow, wow. Ow, wow. Let's see if I can fix this. I wish you can get rid of... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's a little more screen friendly. Well, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Nice. What else we got here? Purposely coughed on... I mean, I'd read the Reddit comments, but I'll do that for like 20 minutes and just laugh to myself. Not the most entertaining. Let me see if I can get my mouse over here. Oh, that's much better. They shut down all firearms store in New Jersey today? I didn't hear about that. New Jersey gun store? Why they... What is it? Because they're non-essential? Is that the idea? Non-essential, They're essential, yeah, non-essential. I mean, they probably don't need to be open, let's be honest. I'm all about some gun rights for people too, but well, can you hunt? Are they issuing hunting licenses right now? I guess you can't hunt anyway in New Jersey in March. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too mad at that. Of course, there's people suing the first thing Glassboro gun shops. I mean, they want to stay open. They want business. I mean, look, no matter how you feel about guns, they're legal and they're for sale, right? So, for the governor to say that they are non-essential, you're gonna get blowback from that, like for sure. You know, again, regardless of how you feel about firearms. That's interesting, though. That's like a, you know. That's a political move, I suppose. That's interesting. You know, because that, you know, they keep a lot of everything else open as much as they can in order to keep the economy flowing. And guns are definitely a big part of the economy during panic modes. But what was that Yes Queen Award? What the hell was that? Yes Queen. What the hell? Reddit's so strange. Boris Johnson test positive for COVID. I read that today. Alabama governor refuses to issue the shelter-in-place order. Why? Why does Alabama have to be different? Alabama Man! Remember that song? Anyone remember Alabama Man? Running a corrections facility must be a pain in the ass right now. Yeah. Yeah, it must be. I mean, the people who work there, they have firearms, for sure, which is interesting if the state says they're not essential yet. People who work in law enforcement and there do have firearms. But yeah, I mean, a closed quarter corrections facility where viruses are a thing. I think they shut down all guests from coming into prisons. I think I heard that. I feel like I heard that like a week plus ago. I could be wrong. These headphones suck. I did hear that they were doing early releases on some prisoners. I don't know how true that was or anything like that. I didn't know if that was hype or what. Alabama governor refuses to issue shelter-in-place order. We are not California. Fucking Reddit top comment. Wow, this governor knows their geography. Oh, the internet's funny. I wanted to read the story though. I didn't want to read the comments. What's the bit? Why will they not do a shelter in place? I mean, ultimately, we're all gonna have to be sheltered in place, right? I mean, I don't know how we're not by now. But if you remember, last week is when they kicked off the bigger measures on the weekend. So we're heading into the weekend now. So I'd expect some kind of address tomorrow at a federal level. Some shit going down. My own personal thoughts. Y'all, we are not Louisiana. We are not New York State. We are not California. Ivy told a reporter who had asked about a potential order, and right now it is not the time to order people to shelter in place. Why not, Governor K. Ivy? The hell's wrong with you? What are the numbers in Alabama right now? Alabama Man. I wish I could play Alabama Man right now. Google, give me numbers for Alabama. Alabama. Just about 600 cases, 56 new cases today, 3 total deaths. And you wanna bump those numbers up? Is that what you're trying to do? That's very foolish. We have all the materials that are needed to keep Alabamians working as much as we can. Alabamians. All right. Well, good luck, Alabama. Best of luck with that. Medical professionals around the U.S. say the officials are underreporting the number of coronavirus deaths they're seeing on the front lines. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the numbers are low. I agree with that. Too many are dying alone. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of people with this COVID who are dying surrounded by family. I think that's for sure. Mexico passing coronavirus deaths as pneumonia. 843 Rebel TV. 843 Rebel TV. Holla at a phone call. You call that number. The phone does this. And then we pick it up and we chat. That's what happens. And I could stop reading Reddit. Daily weddings in Lakewood. Yeah, I heard the cops had to go break those up. Bill Gates returning to normal life in April is not realistic. I have to agree with that. Italy. I mean, this is just all fucking downer stuff. Temporary hospital, the Javits Center, will fully open on Monday. Wow, it's a pretty quick turnaround. I talked about that like last week, I think. FEMA and the Army Corps of Engineers that work at the Javits. Wow. You built a hospital in a week. You are the best of us. Good job, Cuomo. That'll get you to be president. He's definitely the front runner, right? I mean, they're definitely gonna push him to be president, assuming this is gone by the time we vote for president again. Mayor of New York, we have to be ready for New York City to be closed into May. Yeah, that's probably the case. be honest. I mean, I'm sure the Javits Hospital's bad. I was just at the Javits Center not too long ago for a stupid food show. And it's a fucking massive, massive, massive facility. So I have no doubt that they turned it into a pretty wicked hospital. I haven't seen any pictures on it. Let's pull it up. See, they got a full report on it yet? Can't spell hospital. Hospital. Here you go. A look inside. Oh, God. New York Post. Video shows a look inside the new Javits Center, new coronavirus hospital. All right, kill the music. Oh, this is it? 30 seconds. Oh, so they essentially took all the rooms and put up the like med tents. I don't know if you can see this. Wow. Crazy. Damn. I mean, there's so many rooms like that at the Javits, too, so that's probably every room. Damn. I mean, it's kind of scary seeing that. Not gonna lie. Impressive feat, though. For sure. Yeah, it definitely looks like a movie. That definitely looks like a movie. That's some scary shit. I mean, just when you get a day or so of news, you know, that you think everything, you know, you don't hear anything terrible in the last day outside of us becoming the #1 country with everything. You know, you kind of get a hope of optimism, and then you just see that, and it's like, oh man, this shit just ain't going anywhere. I mean, I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to ask everybody I talk to, you know, what is the thing that comes up? What is the headline that makes everything go back to normal? I mean, obviously it's going to be like a phased approach, but like, what is the headline? What is the news story? What is the piece that allows people to start feeling normal again? Even outside of normal business opening. Because, I mean, at some point, they're going to operate, you know, healthy green zones of people that are, they could test and they know are healthy, that can go to work, and there'll be an area for green and an area for red for people who are sick and you can't do shit. Like, they're going to do that. That's like kind of the only way to get the economy going again. But at what point do they break that shit and say, everything's great, we could all go eat at a restaurant again and get your hair cut? Man, shelter-in-place order lifted as curve flattens. Yeah, but how long after the curve flattens? Like, when the curve starts to flatten, doesn't it start getting, like, questionable about... I mean, there's definitely going to be an adjustment period, right? I mean, it's almost like post-traumatic shock, you know? Like, people are going to be, like, wary of doing shit again. Like, are you going to want to go get your hair cut by a dude? Or is a dude going to want to cut your hair after this? At least, like, a couple months after? Like, do you want to be that close to a dude, touching him? That's just like one little industry. Think about them all. All right, smart. Cut your own. A lot of people don't cut their own. You know, that's an industry that fucking exists. A lot of people there. You know, are you going to want to go sit at a restaurant next to other people? Are you going to want to be served by a bartender? Are you going to want to eat sushi out of a sushi guy's hands? Like those high-end sushi places where they make it and they hand it right to you? Like, are you going to want that? How long till you do? It's weird, man. It's a lot of repercussions isn't the word, but a lot of waves that come out of this, even once it's been lifted. And that's kind of what I've been thinking towards, because there's no way to even guess when the hell this shit ends. There's really just not. But at some point it'll end, and at some point we can say, cool, let's move forward. But, you know, day one, when it's normal again, it ain't going to be normal. You know what I mean? I think we definitely have like a large period of adjustment after all of this. Which isn't to say bad or good. You know, it just is what it is. 843 Rebel TV, 843 Rebel TV. We want to hear what it's like by you on your coronavirus lockdown. I wish I had an echo thing. Hold on, I might be able to do it. Lockdown. Oh yeah. Want to know what it's like by you with a lockdown. Oh, that was pretty dope. Yo, what's up, Mr. O? Welcome to the new internets. How's your lockdown? Oh, that's so great. This is just reverb. That ain't gonna work. Lockdown, 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 lockdown. Woo! All right, now we're just being silly. Testing, testing. Oh. Lockdown. Lockdown. I'm gonna save that. Definitely gonna bust this out. Oh. I think she'll be on the... Alright, enough with the effects. Turn it off! Turn off the effects! I'm stuck in a hole! There we go. Yeah, Rebecca's terrific. She might be on the Hack Chef program tomorrow, calling in with a little sommelier knowledge. Possibly. She's terrific. She's great. Very, very wise. That Miss Rebecca. My eyes are like on fire right now. I'm not quite sure why. Normal. Yeah, the free think is fun. Everyone seemed to enjoy the free think yesterday, participants included. So I'm gonna try to do it again. Hopefully, same people, different people. You know, whoever's really available. I don't know when. I liked having my correspondent from Paris in. I like the distance is nice. My California rep, that was great too. It's just interesting. Yay, thanks, bud. Yeah, the free things are fun. We did free things back in the day at Mark's Bar, the Twin Light Tap House. We used to do free things upstairs with Eric and all them. And essentially, we just sit around, drink a bunch of beers, and talk politically incorrect questions. But this free think was more focused on the current situation, so it wasn't as politically motivated. Not that it was like a political chat, but politics come up when you're sitting around willing to talk about everything. So it's not necessarily a red versus blue matter. It's more of a, you know, open thinking situation for those who aren't familiar with what a free think is. It's a session where you can openly talk ideas and, you know, there's no harm, no foul, no arguments. You know, you don't judge people for their thoughts and the things they say because you're freely thinking, you're freely exchanging ideas. That's the idea. So when we did it the other day, I thought it would be cool to have a bunch of people from around the country and the world, and it ended up being, just chatting about what it's like by them. Because, like I said at the top of the show, it's really interesting to me what people are doing. Of course, the dude in Florida, as expected, Florida don't care. They don't give a fuck. I heard about someone else in Florida today talking about it. The same thing. They're like, yeah, no one down here really cares. Yeah, I don't know. Florida man going Florida man, you know? Oh, yeah, nice. Look at this guy working it. Cheerio, working it. I gotta watch that. I stopped watching the show's clips because I know, generally speaking, the audio and video clips look good enough, so I don't really waste my time going back to watch it. But thanks for the clip. Thanks for the bit. Thanks for the clip. Thanks for the clip. Let me throw one of these in here, make sure this works. Boom, boom. Yay, share that link. Floor that link everywhere. Tell all the people. Next time, I was afraid to open the phone lines to have people call in because I thought it would be too much with the 6 people talking and me. Maybe next time if we do like 4 people, we could take phone calls or something to spur a topic or something. But we really didn't need it. Having that many people, just a good round table is good talk. Where else are we at with these coronavirus topics here on the Reddits? Okay. U.S. coronavirus curve appears to be getting steeper, not flatter. Okay, that's correct. Direct opposite of what you were just saying, Jerry. So that's cool. Yeah, long incubation period. That's what gets me worried. The incubation period, because you know you can have it allegedly for up to 14 days, showing 0 symptoms, and pass it on to somebody. Just crazy. So when I was out a couple days ago and interacting, you know, I had my distance and didn't like, you know, touch people or anything like that. But still, you're out, you get scared. So I interacted with people and I was like, ugh. Now I got to sit at home for another 14 days till I feel like I'm kind of safe again. And then every, sniffle or eye itch you get, or you think, oh my God, am I dying? Do I have it? Everyone's in full panic mode all the time now. At least I am. Not really, though. I mean, I feel pretty, I don't know, not optimistic, but What else we got here? Kind of had enough. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, dude, I bet not. I sent you an article today about pharmacists, like call to action type article. It's pretty interesting. Yeah, I mean, the numbers of unemployment are pretty goddamn high. So to be employed, you should be thankful and feel lucky, but also very careful, and people should be thanking you all the time for going to work. You're on the front lines. You especially. As a pharmacist, you're on the front lines dealing with sick people all the time. So put that goddamn hazmat suit on. You need one of those. You need a Breaking Bad hazmat suit. Don't fuck around. Can you order those? You could probably order those. Not the Tyvek painting one. Like, yeah, you need this. It's like $9. You need one of those. Yeah, if you're not working with this dude, if you're not dressed like this, serving people chemicals to make them feel better, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know how you're gonna live that life. Positive pressure. That one's probably. Let's see. I just typed encapsulation suit, Tychem. This is probably almost too much. Like, there's probably. Yeah, here's a cheaper encapsulation suit. That's what you need. Or at least something to, like, cover. Like, I would legit be concerned about, like, exposed skin. You know? Let alone, I know it's respiratory, but still, you don't want to carry it. Like, you gotta, I'm sure you're gonna be washing your clothes and shit every day you come in, doing the old bit, as I heard it now. You know, people taking their clothes off in the garage, throwing their shit in a basket and washing it all the time because, you know, worried about people's clothes getting covered in this shit. Oh, phone call. Let's take this call. Rebel Vision TV. Who do you got?
Mr. Joe Cavalieri.
Hey, it's Joe Cavalieri. You sick of typing?
What's going on?
Not too much, bud. How are you?
All right.
You get your hazmat suit or what?
Yes, I hear you talking about this, about protocol. It's interesting that you say that because I actually do have a protocol that I follow when I come back from work. Yeah, you're 100% right. I basically...
let's just set the stage. You're a pharmacist, right? We could say that?
Right.
Okay, so you're a pharmacist. Right. So you're on the front lines essentially dealing with sick people all the time, regardless of coronavirus. You just got sick people all the time. So
it's a combination of being a pharmacist A and working in a grocery store B.
Yeah, so you're just surrounded by illness and grossly mannered people, generally speaking, I'd assume.
It's a density thing, but yeah.
Yes, density is the word, I think. Yeah, that's fair.
Right.
So I heard that people were coming in with, like, the protocol, I didn't look into it, was, you come home and you got to change in the garage, essentially, and wash your clothes. Is that what you're looking to do, or is that what you've been doing?
Yeah, pretty much. I come home, I do exactly what you say. I leave my shoes in the garage, and I basically head right downstairs to a separate shower, and I shower as soon as I get home.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you kind of have, if you're trying to be safe, that's the kind of shit you got to do. I don't think there's, like, a question about it. I don't even think that's crazy anymore.
I do that, and, I have the mask, as I mentioned the last time I called in. I have my...
the P100?
I have an N95 mask. P100 is too much for me at this point to wear at work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like to wear it at work, but I still have to have the ability to talk on the phone, and the P100 that I have is a half-face respirator, sort of similar to that. I like that. What is that?
So this is I found this goggles and this respirator that I put on this shark bank that I have. But I found it actually in a bag that came with, I ordered a Cards Against Humanity set once, and it came with like a bug out bag, like that was like a joke. And this was actually in there. So I was going through it to find like a bunch of tchotchke shit to, like, put on this wall behind me. And I was like, holy shit, a respirator. I can actually use this. And I thought it was like fake for a minute. It doesn't.
Is that functional?
Yeah, it's got filters in it. It's got like this thing. I haven't taken it apart to look at what the filters are, but it doesn't feel fake.
Wait
definitely
a minute.
not
So
a
you
costume.
got that from a Cards Against Humanity,
That's
like deluxe pack bug out bag edition?
Correct. Like, here's the filter. Like, that's a legit filter. I don't know what. Oh, it says it right here. Let's see. It's a RC203 gas cartridge for spray painting and organic vapors of low toxicity. I don't know if that is gonna help me. I mean, it's pretty goddamn.
Is there a rating on there, like 95 or 100 or
It says
anything?
RC203. That's all it says.
I don't know. You could probably interwebs that and find out what it is. But I think those have a standard diameter that's available for cartridges across the internet. That comes a standardized diameter.
Oh, here it is. RC203 respirator cartridge. Yeah.
Pull that shit up.
Activated carbon. It doesn't say like what rating it is though.
Let's see.
Replacement cartridge, retcon. I mean, they're cheap, obviously. I don't think it's gonna be anything of sorts, but I could probably buy the cartridge. You're right, and just put it on here.
Right, so there's a certain diameter that those are. That,
yeah, exactly.
Basically, like plug and play for whatever kind of cartridge you want to use.
But I thought that was hilarious. I opened it up and I was like, oh, I completely forgot. It's like a stupid bag. Like I went through it when I got it years ago, and I was like, oh, funny, and I just like put it away. And I literally like going through like the corner of shit in my basement. I was like, oh, what's this? What's this? I was like, oh, this thing. And I opened it up and I was like, oh my god, this is a bug out bag. And it's got some other funny shit in it too.
What else? What else is that?
I'll go
bug
grab
out
it and
bag
bring it
have?
over here. 1 sec. I'll go grab it. It's literally right next to me. Put the mask on him. 1 second. So it came with a bag, which is a pretty low quality bag, but the bag says Donald Trump bug out bag because I think this came out around the time of the elections.
All right.
And I think this was like part of like a like, you know, if he gets elected, bug out kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
There's a Mexican resident application form. Which hilariously enough, has like the actual paperwork inside. Like fill this out and bring it to Mexico. It says like it's legit. It's the actual paperwork, which is hilarious. Like that's pretty goddamn funny. Currency. This is the currency envelope, which has Dominican Republic money and Guatemalan money in it.
All right, so you got about 6 cents worth of money.
Yeah, it's nothing useful. Open only in case of dire emergency. What's this? This is in true Cards Against Humanity fashion. Open only in case of dire emergency, and it's a picture of a pig shitting. So that's useful. And there's like there's like 2 decks of cards in here that I never opened. I brought upstairs. And then you got some rations. You got some seeds for wheat. Some useful Spanish phrases, which probably has some great ones. Let's see. I'm a refugee from the United States.
Oh, my God.
Where are the other survivors? This goat has no diseases. Merry public holidays to you.
So, you know, in a sense, it's almost apropos to the current situation.
A harmonica.
Context.
A brand new harmonica.
Just in case.
A wee little ration with caloric content. A Vicks Vapo Rub pack, and one of those like silver electric not electric blankets, but blankets, and a can of beans. Very strange.
Yeah, I was going to ask, where's the RMAs?
Yeah, they used to do shit like this all the time, where you'd give them, they'd be like, "We're doing a thing, give us $10," and like they would just send you new packs of cards with like a bit. Oh, and there's a fire starter too. They give you a legit fire starter, which is actually a good thing. I'll keep that up. But they do those bits. They would do bits where you just like, they would pop on. They're like, we have 500 packs. First people to give us $20, we'll send you a pack, and you get like the special edition Cards Against Humanity cards, and they come with like some kind of merch bag of some sort. And that was one that came up, and it was silly. They had one where like they bought like an island or something, and they gave everyone like a tiny piece of the island. Like literally everyone who chipped in got a piece of this weird fucking island somewhere, so you actually own it. Like they give you deeds and everything. And then they took a bunch of money and like They took a bunch of money from one, like they charged extra for it, and then they took all the money and sent it to the production plant that produces their cards in China, and paid for vacation for all of them, which I thought was like pretty impressive and cool of them to do.
So do you think that mask is actually functional?
I mean, dude, it's a mask with cartridges in it. I don't see why not. I mean, the goggles are pretty flimsy, but the mask is a real mask. Like it goes up on my face. It's not like I put it on. I was like, oh, this actually like fits. And
you got a manufacturer on there? Is there a manufacturer?
Yeah. I mean, it's not the most expensive, but it's got, you know.
Yeah, no, but you know.
Maybe inside the lip. I mean, it definitely smells like a Toys R Us thing, but I'm not seeing any names. It has a logo with like a cross on it.
Some maybe. Chinese thing, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. I mean, that's what they said. That's why they did that thing where they bought the vacation for their whole plant, because they use one plant for.
What's that little garter belt?
I guess this is like to cover your face, because this is like a hard plastic. So I guess this is like to cover your face with it on.
Okay. Yeah. All right, yeah.
I guess. Like I'm not versed in respirator usage, but I thought it was hilarious that I found this the other day, and I was like, all right, well, I'll keep it out. And I was like, well, let me put it on the shark behind me.
All right, so like I'm at work, I cannot rock that shit. You ask me.
Yeah, this is too much. Like you can't be working with this and being like, yeah, hold on, let me get you your medicine. Like that's just not gonna work. I get that.
So let me ask you a question. If you were just running shit in the pharmacy, right, and keeping in mind that people need their medication, people need all their all their good stuff to keep them alive. In the face of an increased number of cases, when we start reaching, say, a critical mass point, how would you operate in that environment, both to keep your employees that work in the pharmacy safe while providing pharmacy services to people who need them?
I think you got to do what everyone else is doing with the distance thing, so no one could go near you. You got to have them stand X feet away from the register and do the back and forth, and everything will take longer and be a pain in the ass. But I think that's kind of the only way you could like reassure some kind of safety. Not that even guarantees it, but.
Right. So yeah. So my technician, she's obviously handing the bag to the person, and you're talking about social distancing, but she interacts with different people in the same manner within like a 1 or 2 foot radius every single day. There has to be an exchange of a bag for money because they're dealing drugs. So how do you basically do a drug deal and maintain social distancing?
You can't like put the bag down and walk away and have them take it. I guess that like legally can't be done. I
mean, I guess you can.
Yeah, but you're getting questionable with that, I suppose.
Yeah, no, it's just I don't. To use the phrase "bad optics," like
Yeah, no, that's bad optics for
doing
sure.
this kind of shit right now. What's next?
No,
so,
that's
I don't
bad optics.
know if the current model would work. I don't know if say switching to a delivery model.
I was just gonna say, how many patients do you have? Is delivery something you could even be like, look, we're just hiring a delivery person. Everything will get handled by a delivery person. Leave the money, on the fucking door or something.
We probably do anywhere between, depending on the week, 1,300 to 1,800 prescriptions a week.
In the radius of what? Do you know that or?
No, daily, on a weekly basis.
No, but what's the radius of those people coming in? How far away are they from your store?
So it's like Spotswood, East Brunswick, Old Bridge.
I mean, I'd say hire a delivery driver, but then you're just putting it on a delivery driver. Like, you're really not eliminating the problem. It's not like you're hiring a drone. You're still hiring a person that has to go to a house,
Right, A, and then B, you have to vet that delivery driver because there's patient safety.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Right, there's patient safety concerns. There's all these federal rules that come into play.
Yeah, no, you got to throw that out the window. That ain't going to work.
So then it would be like, me going door to door and delivering people with, their medications in my freaking half-face 3M P100 particulate respirator?
Well, what if Amazon just starts doing medicine deliveries? Wouldn't that be easier?
Well, yeah, they are. They have a company called PillPack, which, they have their hands in. Walgreens is using FedEx right now. I don't know what CVS is doing. They have their own delivery service.
Huh.
But I don't know. I think we should move to a closed door model where we just deliver and just have the risk contained to one person.
I mean, if there's a time to do that, now's the time, obviously. But if you don't have the infrastructure in place for that, it's kind of too late to build that out, right? I mean, that ain't gonna work.
Well, I mean, if say they said, okay, Joe, at 5 o'clock every day, you have to take this bin of medications and go door to door and deliver it. I mean, I guess that's an option since the radius is not that large.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was my question. How large is your radius? Because that's the question. Because you could technically have people from far away come to your pharmacy, right?
Yeah, that's a good point. So just because they live far away doesn't mean that they can't use our pharmacy. They have a right to use our pharmacy. I guess if we implemented a practice where we would only have a delivery type of service, we would offer to transfer their prescription to any pharmacy of their choice.
Mm-hmm.
But now you start getting into legal ramifications with the Board of Pharmacy and provision of pharmacy services and limitations on those services, so I don't know how that would play out. But then again, these are extraordinary times, and they call for extraordinary measures, I suppose.
Yeah, but I mean, this situation, and it's not like this is going anywhere. This is going to be here for a minute, so to respond to it efficiently makes sense, especially from a healthcare perspective, because this whole thing is, to eliminate it, we need a lot of, new methodologies that are being used. Social distancing. Never heard that term up to, a month ago. Never even heard that term. What the hell does that even mean, So
right.
you need some new shit down the pipe to actually, fix the puzzle or at least address the puzzle, But yeah, I mean, you're on the front lines almost more so than, up there with doctors and shit in a hospital. Like a hospital is just full, in theory, like full of coronavirus, right? I mean, if there's someone with coronavirus there, that hospital is just a hotbed of potential problem. And you're just dealing with people that are sick of all kinds all day. And now, like I keep saying, like one's personal, physical, and mental health is so important right now. Having your physicality and your health at peak condition all the time is so important. So to be exposed to, sick people and even not sick people that just need normal, meds from you that aren't like contagious type sick. I'm sure most of the people that come to you aren't some type of contagious, carrying contagion person. They just need their standard issue meds. But it's still a concern.
Just as a follow-up, we just simply don't have the depth in the department if people go down. So, I mean, this is a concern in hospitals specifically with doctors and nurses. So, just say you have X amount of doctors that service a hospital, you have X amount of nurses that service a hospital. If you don't give the doctors and the nurses the proper protective equipment, which is happening, if these people start to go down, there's not a lot of depth.
Yeah, there's no
in
backup.
The roster
there's no backup
to replace these people.
No backup coming in. Yeah.
So what do you do? So what do you do if you're not protecting your frontline people and they start going down? Where does this shit go from there?
But what can you do to protect your frontline people? Like, what can you do to protect as even from a government perspective? Like, I don't even know who, what do you do? Who's you? Like, what do you? I think every doctor and any person who's interacting on the front lines like that, it's just kind of your responsibility to protect yourself as much as possible, because you're kind of the last link in the chain. Like when you're not there and those people aren't there anymore, that's a problem.
So that's a good point, and I think that part of the answer is yes, there is an individual responsibility to protect one's own safety and well-being. I get you. Fine, I'll agree with that. But there also has to be some responsibility from the hospital admin standpoint.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To offer protective equipment to the employees.
Oh, I don't think that's. I mean, I think it's personal responsibility. I say that not saying it's on you to go purchase all your own shit. Like, if you're in a hospital and you're a doctor, the hospital should be doing all they can to give you, protect you. You're an asset. You're the asset for why people are there. So it is on them to keep you there. But then you start getting into business side of things, right? So because hospitals are big business now, right? So. Mm-hmm. So when a hospital starts thinking about how to protect its asset, which is doctors and a lot of other things, but doctors importantly, do they have to look at them as a commodity and say, how much do we invest to keep these people here?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but no one wants to hear that now. Like, no one wants to hear people talking business and politics now. People just want solutions, and if you talk about anything else, you look like an asshole.
Well, fine, you look like an asshole, but it's still a commodity.
It's still a commodity. It's still a business at the end of the day.
Of course it is.
There's no bailout that fixes your business if you lose all of your doctors. You're not bailing that out.
So my question is why are the hospital admins, why is the federal government, why are the state governments scrambling around now to secure more masks, scrambling around now to secure more gowns, scrambling around now to find more ventilators. Why is this all happening now as opposed to a month and a half ago?
I don't know. And then you ask people about it, and pretty much anyone I talk to doesn't know the answer. So asking that question to us there's no answer. I don't know who knows that answer. I think hospitals are the only people that can tell you why, or whoever's responsible for that at the government level, either state, local, or federal. Everyone wants to just blame the president or something like that. And I don't know if it's necessarily the president. I mean, obviously the president has a certain responsibility to instruct and lead, but you're just going to blame Trump for not having respirators? Like, that doesn't make sense. I mean,
no.
I don't know if he made the call to say this is. He said dumb shit about it, of course, but does that mean that he's denying respirators? Come on, that's a little.
No, of course
I'm sure
not.
That's not the case. So who is it that is responsible for that? Though there is somebody. So
you mentioned a good point about the hospitals being a business.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? That's an excellent point, 100%. They're a business. There had to be, at some point, some sort of calculated business decision that evaluated the cost of obtaining all of these protective masks, gowns, etc., purchasing ventilators, and weighing that against the risk of, as Matt called it yesterday, black swan event, this outside event that would require the use of these things. Were they willing to take that risk, maybe?
That's a good question. I don't know. You want to say no. You want to think that that's not the case. You want to think that they didn't just say, we'll roll the dice on this and hope, we don't really need respirators and stuff. But then they're saying that the respirators don't even really exist. And it's not like you can't buy them. I think at least I heard at some point, and again, I don't know if this is true or not. There's no finger pointing here. But China apparently came in and purchased a huge load of respirators early in the game, like late December, early January, from some American company. Now, again, I don't have backing story for this. I don't even remember where I heard this, but I heard this like a week ago, and someone was suggesting that was part of the problem, that this American company that they didn't name, whoever, probably, I'm sure we could figure it out who makes respirators, 3M? I don't know. They came and just said, we're going to buy them all. And they're like, oh, okay. And then they have to, it's a business. You got to fulfill the order. They ordered it. And then 3 weeks later, shit goes down here, and America's like, where's our goddamn respirators? And they're like, oh, no, China just ordered them all last week. Sorry, you're shit out of luck. We'll make some more. You'll have them in a month. That might have been what happened. But ain't nobody coming forward saying that. You don't want any politician really to come forward and say, oh, our American company, 3M or whatever, that I'm throwing them under the bus like it's them, whatever. This American company that you all know and love and trust sold all our shit to China first because that's how business works. So, that's not what no one wants to hear that, regardless if it's someone's fault. Unless you could blame it on a single politician, no one really wants to hear that. No one wants to lose faith in American institutions if that is the case.
Right. Yeah. It's to that end, I don't understand how a country, the number one country in the world, the United States of America, is basically playing catch up this last week of March, trying to buy respirators and purchase ventilators to support critically ill people, where the writing was on the wall a month and a half ago. I canceled my frickin' Disney trip a month and a half ago. I have receipts from Home Depot for frickin' respirators from over a month ago.
Yeah, well,
I'm
you brought them up.
I'm just an idiot schmuck sitting in my house watching the news. How is this possible?
Yeah. I mean, you have a different perspective, right? You're a pharmacist. You're in the medical field. I'm sure most people in the medical field, I would like to think 9 out of 10 have some respirators at home because they maybe thought this was coming. No, you don't think so?
No, they don't. They looked at me like I was a fucking Looney Tune when I started wearing it. I told them first week of February I was canceling my cruise and my Disney trip. They thought I was nuts. They thought I was crazy.
Yeah, and now look at them, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. But now everyone will pay double for a respirator now.
Double?
At least.
Go on eBay, bro. Your eyeballs will pop out of your head what an N95 mask will fetch right now. They're going for like $20-$30.
I mean,
These are like $3-4 things.
Yeah, I think I bought an N95 mask when I was spray painting once because I didn't know what to get. And I was like, oh, and I brought it home and I was like, well, this is overkill. And this was years ago. And when this all happened, I was like, do I still have some of those? I think it was like a 6-pack because it was like $5 or something. I was like, give me the good ones.
I'm looking at a receipt from Home Depot, February 24th. 3M drywall sanding respirator with valve. These are the deluxe edition, $8.68.
$45.95 on eBay right now.
But that one, yeah, I got something like that. Too.
Half face
no,
piece.
I'm talking about these are the paper ones, but it's still N95. Those are nice.
This is just crazy. Look at them gas mask prices online to keep respirators.
This is nuts, and now we got all these fucking drug shortages with this hydroxychloroquine. You guys
So I heard about that. Tell me about that a little bit. Like, I heard that they're saying that this may be a useful thing, right? So I guess they have to test it or whatever. But like, they're saying that people are like, or people are like whoring it and like, hoarding it. How I said whoring? They're whoring and hoarding it. How can they hold on? How isn't it a prescription? Like, how I could just go buy that shit? Right.
So yeah, a lot of things you addressed there. So first things first. I don't understand how CNN, MSNBC, certain left-leaning, I hate to bring politics into this, but, they're trying to throw Trump under the bus for this. They blast doctors and pharmacists for going along with dispensing and prescribing of this medication for this purpose. There's actually talk of, I think, with the Michigan governor right now threatening pharmacists with license revocation and doctors with license revocation if they prescribe hydroxychloroquine in this manner to treat coronavirus. But they call this off-label prescribing, where they prescribe for conditions that are not FDA approved. It happens all the time for everything. I saw something last night where like 20 to 30% of all prescriptions are prescribed in an off-label manner. So they're doing it off-label. They're seeing if it works. The safety is there. These are old drugs. Safety profile is there. They're safe to use. But yes, they're prescription. I don't know what is going on with the whole hoarding thing.
I just heard that. Again, you hear these things and like, what does that mean? What are the, people hear that and they freak out. I just assume that word was said, that drug name was said a couple times. People are probably buying it, so I don't know what the hoarding is actually like. But
yeah, so they are buying it. I haven't been to work in over, I'd say, about a week, and I was unable to purchase hydroxychloroquine from my wholesaler probably for 2 weeks now.
Wow.
I got a bunch of phone calls from doctors asking to prescribe hydroxychloroquine a couple weeks ago. I don't know if it was for the purpose of hoarding it. I think that's what they were doing. So there's doctors that are hoarding it just in case, I feel like, or they want to have it on hand just in case any of their patients develop.
Doctors having it on hand, or like pharmacies?
No. So I was getting phone calls from doctors.
Right.
Doctors that I didn't even recognize. I don't deal with a lot of doctors. I know pretty much most of them around.
Right.
That are in this area. Just random ass doctors calling the pharmacy asking if we had hydroxychloroquine.
Huh.
So, I don't know for what purpose. If it was so that they could hoard it.
Well, yeah, they're saying, or at least the headlines are suggesting, that this may show promise in at least treating symptoms, I guess. Like, I don't even know. So that, any kind of positive news, people are gonna rally on,
Yeah, so there's some evidence, supposedly in some case studies, to show that this drug works. It's typically used nowadays for people that have rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah, I heard lupus too, right? I don't know if that's the same drug.
Right. So rheumatoid arthritis and lupus are medical conditions that involve a lot of inflammation in the body, and this drug tempers inflammation. And in the advanced stages of coronavirus infection, there's a significant inflammation going on in the body, obviously with the lungs, and it's theorized that the hydroxychloroquine, through its anti-inflammatory effect in the body, tempers that inflammation and makes breathing easier and basically allows people to turn a corner.
Yeah, well, that's promising.
It is promising. But, then again, it's unavailable to purchase right now. Can't purchase it from McKesson.
Do you think that they're ramping up production of that or something?
Yeah, okay, good luck. It's all fucking made in India and China. And this is what
I guess that's a problem.
This is the fucking problem. It's all made over there.
Oh, man. Wow. Yeah, I didn't see that coming, actually, surprisingly. I guess that's the problem. Shit.
Yeah, it's all made over there. We have a major issue with the supply chain of drugs in this country.
So what's the kind of a targeted goal for that? Can they produce them here? Does it just cost so much to produce here? Does it cost more? Is that the bit?
Okay, but listen, even if it does cost more here, now you have a secure drug supply. You're not relying on a third party to provide you with drugs. So, I mean, yes, it might cost a little more to produce them in this country.
But you got your drugs in house, yeah.
But at least you have them.
Yeah.
You have the ability to even purchase them. You can't even purchase these drugs right now because they're made over there. And we have this amazing infrastructure, specifically up and down Route 1 here in New Jersey, that can make this shit like crazy.
Yeah, there is a lot of medical work. What do you call it?
Go at it.
What's the word I'm looking for? Medical something. Facilities? Drug production. There you go. Thank you. That's
right. So yeah, you could go all the way up to Bridgewater for Pfizer, all the way down to Princeton for Sanofi, and everybody in the middle can produce everything.
Huh.
And we don't produce shit.
Is it just because
and
part
then
of our
why we have a problem getting drugs because we don't fucking make them?
Is it because part of our drug deal or deals with other countries is that we buy X amount of drugs from them? Is that something? I don't even know if that's true.
Well, yeah. So you have insurance companies that reimburse pharmacies for medications. Insurance companies reimburse a set amount to the pharmacies for those medications, and those reimbursement amounts are predetermined. So the name of the game is for the pharmacy to buy as low as possible because the reimbursement is fixed. So you're going to hunt for the lowest price per unit that you could possibly get.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that makes...
And that's what you're bringing to your pharmacy. But guess what? All these cheap pills, they're all fucking made in China and India.
Yeah, I don't know how you... Do you think after this they're going to start steering that shit back here? Or trying to?
Yes, they should. They should. And I've been yelling about this for years. And now it's even more of the essence that we have to have a much better control of our drug supply and medical device supply here in this country.
Well, yeah. Imagine if they could just cut off all that shit coming in. I mean, we would be crippled. I mean, that'd be terrible.
Well, yeah, it's true. And they're using it for their own people. We're already having drug shortages in this country, not just for hydroxychloroquine, but many other drugs. And it's because China, who's the supplier of raw ingredients, is basically turning inward and taking care of its own. And, we shouldn't be doing that shit. It should be America first.
Yeah, I mean, especially coming out of this, I mean, I think people will start thinking about it that way more. But, who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows where this goes? I mean, that all makes sense. I don't think anyone could argue with that. I don't know who would say no to that, but I don't, where does it go? And how long does it take to set up an infrastructure like that?
But that's the thing. We have the infrastructure here. It's set up. All we have to do is flip the switch on. We haven't made penicillin in this country in over 15 or 20 years.
Yeah, but then you're crushing the industries in the other countries when you say, hey, we're not buying this from you anymore. Like, is that a concern?
I don't see why it would be a concern because how much of our economy is based on cheap imports of medications from other countries?
I don't know.
And you also have to compare that to the benefit that it would have to American workers here who would now be employed in said factories.
It makes sense to me. I'm sold.
It might cost a little more, but we have American jobs and we have an American supply chain.
I'll vote for it.
Two big wins for that. So, sign us up. Sign us up. America first. I want to see fucking Trump do something instead of, talking about tariffs on fucking Chinese dildos. You know what I mean?
He certainly says America first a lot. So maybe that. I'm sure that's going to be coming down the pipeline. I don't know. Who could say?
But Joe C, signing off. Just wanted to.
Yeah, Joe. Thank you for calling. But let's do a video thing next week. I'm sure we'll have developments over the weekend. So let's do like an hour next week sometime, whenever you got the time, late night, early, whatever, and just chat. Some focused medical topics. I think that would be great.
Fantastic. I'd love to do that.
Cool, dude. Well, thanks for calling in, man. I really appreciate it.
Of course. All right. Take care.
Later, buddy. He's great. Who's better than that guy? That's what you want. You want a real medical professional to come in and talk to you. You know what I mean? Real exciting stuff. 843 Rebel TV. 843 Rebel TV. What time is it? 6:46. I got to patch in with Alan Evans of SOULIVE fame, drummer of SOULIVE. We're doing Kicking It with Al. I'm going to dial him up on Skype and patch him in over here. Should be remotely issueless, one hopes. I'll probably have to go dark for a second to patch it over. I don't know. I got to think about it. Probably should have thought about it already, but whatever. It's fine. I wish I had like a... All right, whatever. Let me just make sure it's... Where's my phone? Where are we? Anyway, that was exciting. I like talking to medical professionals about what's going on because, you know, other people can only just guess. Oh, look. Here we go. It's Instagram Live. This guy. You know that guy? Remember that guy? Yeah, we know it's charging. That guy who does the wacky dances online, he's doing a live DJ stream. Real cool. I'm sure it's great. Let's see. What was I looking at? Email. Dun, 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 dun. Where you at? 7P, cool. All right, so in a couple minutes, I'm going to take a quick breather. I'm going to run upstairs, grab a beverage, and then I'll come down and patch in Mr. Alan Evans, and then we'll have a chatty chat on here, which should be fun. Cool. Well, that was a lot to think about, you know. I never really thought that all of our medicine comes from India and China. I mean, obviously, if you think about it, that's obviously true, but I haven't given that a thought, so supply chain's pretty short on that. I didn't really think about everyone's worried about food and toilet paper, but no one's really worried about the supply chain on the actual medicine coming in. Interesting take. Glad I thought about that. Well, now we can be more scared. Real cool. Dun, dun, dun. So let's see. I'll pull up a little BRB screen here. And we'll pop in a little texty text that says, hey, can we back a couple minutes here? Don't be sorry, Joe. This is real life. This is shit that happens. We'll be right back. We'll be right back. 7 p.m. EST. Cool. So let me put that there. And then we can... Where'd it go? What happened? What happened? Am I crazy? Oh, there's the button. Let me change the text and the font on this. Well, I'm glad this is going so well. Audio and video wise. It's still experimentation zone, really. I guess we're leaving the experimentation zone at this point. I feel like we're, oorah! Best doc, funk doc, best doc. I feel like we've left the experimentation zone. I feel like we might just be pot committed now to production value now. This text is crude, but we're just gonna have to go with it. Yeah, dude, I'm glad. Like again, I think it's really funny because like I was saying yesterday, and I'll say it again, I'm sure in the next hour. Having this little streaming lab set up, I was fucking around with doing other shit, and now it works for this new era of fucking, you know, everyone looking for some kind of social outbreak or contact or something, and this works. So I'm glad to be of service to whoever's out there doing a damn thing. I'm going to take a quick one. I'll be right back. I'm going to put the BRB up. You'll hear the music, but when the music goes off, I'll be dialing in Alan, and then hopefully when we come back, we'll have Alan in this little corner here instead of this novel coronavirus thing. So cool. Be back in a hot minute. Peace.
Yeah. Ooh, now I can't hear you. But yeah, I know.
You should hear me now.
I got you now.
Oh boy. All right.
All right.
All right. I got your audio. I think I hear you. Can you talk for a second,
You
Alan?
got me.
I got you.
Hey, check two.
Yeah, I hear you.
1.
Here we
All
go.
right.
There he is. There's the man.
Yeah.
All right,
All
cool,
right.
dude. So, our special guest at 7 o'clock, Mr. Alan Evans.
Yeah.
There's no audience, but I got a soundboard, so I'm going to give you this.
Yes,
How you like that? How you like that shit?
Oh man, see now you're giving me ideas, man.
Dude. I've been
Yeah,
down here.
yeah.
I told you, I've been down here for weeks getting this shit dialed in, and now Corona's got me working it. This is hilarious, dude. So,
I can dig it.
like I said, I'll just set from my side at least, dude. I saw you were doing this thing, kicking it out. Did you start it like last week, or when did you start it?
Man, like literally the first one went up on Monday.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to do but
Yeah.
check your phone and check the
Man.
line.
So what it was, man, so you know, when all this started going down,
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, all of a sudden I started seeing a huge influx of people trying to, musicians, I guess you'd say, people in general, but a lot of musicians, obviously, like trying to, like doing lessons or, things like that. And I've been kicking an idea around for a podcast for a while. And this isn't the one.
Everyone's got a podcast idea these days.
so I had this other idea, which I may or may not do at some point.
Sure.
We'll see. But so my wife and I were out walking, and I was like, I just thinking about what we're missing out on, and the one I was started thinking like, the one thing I missed is, or I'm going to miss, is like when you're after before or after a show, I always, inevitably I run into people who I've never met before, just fans of the band or, whatever. And I just love just talking with people. So I was like, all right, well, how can I tie that in? And the thing is, I listen to a lot of podcasts, right? And those, I just felt that there was something missing in them, in that every podcast that I listen to, which I dig, but it's like, okay, cool. You have Paul McCartney on Mark Maron.
Cool.
Or you have which is amazing.
Right. Cool thing. Yeah.
I mean? Like whatever, all that's, I'm not taking anything away from those. I learn a lot from all these podcasts. But the thing is, it's like, you always like, you're checking out somebody maybe a celebrity, or like in terms of like podcasts I listen to, a lot of podcasts I listen to are like geared more towards recording engineers, and producers and things like that. So, but those are usually a lot of people who are very well known in that industry.
Specific, very specific.
Exactly. So I was like, man, what if I just like, this is a great time to just get in touch with people, like my friends or whatever. So a lot of people are, video chatting and such. I was like, look, I just want to open it up to everybody. Like, why, why make it such a, and that's the thing with, musicians, a lot of musicians, the whole culture is kind of funny. And it's been tearing down over the past decade, maybe or more, where there's, your favorite musician or whatever is a little bit more accessible now.
Sure. I mean, everybody, all celebrities are so accessible now, especially compared to like years and years ago. Like that's the thing.
Exactly.
You used to never be able to think that you could talk to like someone you look up to, or like someone you want to reach out to. And now you just send them a DM. Yo, what's up, dude? You want to do some shit?
Yeah,
you can just do what.
Exactly.
You have that accessibility. It's crazy today. It's really crazy.
But I felt like I could take it a step further.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And instead of like, I'm lucky enough that I'm a guest on podcasts and people interview me for when I have an album coming out or whatever, but like, I didn't want this to necessarily be about me and all my buddies or whatever, or you know what I mean? I just wanted it to be about everybody. Let everybody, like, let me use whatever little like attention I can get, bring from my name or my band. Like, let's let everybody get on on it. You know what I mean? Man.
I mean, that's super honorable and like such a great thing to do. And, that really inspires so many people who like want to be creative to even see something like that happening. Really will allow them to like start doing shit. So you never know what kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like butterfly effect that you'll create with that. Because when you start inspiring people to do stuff like that and you shine the light on people, you're opening a lot of doors for people too. So that's super cool. That's super cool.
Right on, man. That's it's funny, man. It was just an idea that came really, I mean, like on our walk, my wife and I, we just kind of like, we were talking back and forth on it. And by the time I got back, I was like, I had the whole, kind of premise. And obviously it's going to like, we'll see if it changes throughout. I kind of, the funny thing is, the initial idea, I was like, all right, well, I'll talk, there'll be like 15, maybe 10 or 15 minute little things, And when I talked to Idris, that, man, we talked for like an hour.
Yeah, I mean, especially you connect with somebody, you
Exactly. So I just was like, you know what? They're just going to be, they'll probably, and every conversation I've been having ever since, and the crazy thing, man, like that first day, like I think 14 people like signed up to talk, like, and I've talked to, I've got like 8 in the bag already.
Nice.
But all been about like an hour long. And so with that said, I had to leave it open to, my initial idea was 10 or 15 minutes,
clips,
but hey, you got to just go with it,
Yeah,
So
I mean, especially the good thing is you can, right? You're not locked to any kind of studio time, and being in the virtual world, you could just fire it up and keep going until you're done. And
yeah,
it's so strange now, man, with like all this coronavirus stuff. Is like everyone is kind of doing a version of that, and everyone like putting in with their like everyone is looking for new stuff. Everyone wants new content. Everyone's sick of Netflix, like everyone's looking for some new streams or something to get into. And
right.
and people want to connect. That's the one thing. Like we did a stream yesterday, and like I was like, man, what am I missing? Like I haven't talked to a bunch of my friends in a very long time. So I put together like we did was it not Zoom? We used a different thing, and we all talked.
Yep.
Who knew about Zoom 3 weeks ago? And now everybody Zoom's like the hot shit. But like I got my friend from California, guitarist I used to play with. He lives out in California, runs venues out there. We chat with him, and it was great to talk with him. A friend of mine in Maine, a dude in Florida, a friend of mine I went to college with out in Paris. And I got them all together at once, and I was like, yo, this is just like if we were hanging out. Like, you all don't know each other. You all know me. We're going to have a good time talking. And then we just talked. Everyone cracked a drink, and we just started talking for like 2-3 hours just about, what's going on by you, what's it like by you, because people are looking for that kind of connection now. And it just isn't, and especially now, it ain't there. You could have said this 3-4 months ago when people were just like weird in general, like society's like in this weird state. But now it's like so weird. Everyone wants that connection. Everyone wants some kind of, touch. Like I miss hanging out with my friends. I miss having a dinner with a friend and chatting, but you just can't do that now. It's real weird.
Yeah, man. Exactly.
It's weird times.
It's weird, man. But you know what? I'm making the most of it. I've really been enjoying myself, man. I'm just staying positive.
Yep.
I'm checking in with the news just to see what's happening. But when all this first kind of dropped, I was definitely like watching a lot, like, man, this is crazy. And then I just got to a point where I was like,
I'm good.
No, I can't do it, man. I got to check out, like I understand I want to be respectful of what's going on, but I figured like I'll usually what I'm doing now is at night, I'll check in on the news just to see what's happening. But I figured, man, if something really crazy is going down,
it's gonna come across.
My phone is gonna be blowing up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
you gotta catch that news.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay,
Same here. The first couple days when it was going down, like I'd wake up, I'd have my coffee, and I don't usually watch TV, but I'll pop on. I was like, we put on channel 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and catch like around here you get like Cuomo or something coming on, and like just getting the bullet points, for the day that they're putting out. And like every day was getting more and more. And what was it, like last weekend when they started saying, all right, we're locking it down, it got pretty deep. And I was like, all right. And that's when I started thinking, like, I think it was on Sunday or Monday. I was like, and I was saying this yesterday to my friends, and, I keep telling it to everyone I talk to. It's like one of the most important things now, because no one knows how long this is going on, and I don't mind being home. I don't mind sitting home, chilling out. Like I could keep myself entertained. I could keep myself occupied and busy. Not everyone can, but, fortunate that I could do that. But one of the most important things is keeping your head in check, because you don't know how long it's going to go on, man. And if you're not, like, if your head's not in check right now, and more importantly, like physically, if you're not in check now, that ain't going to help you in 5 weeks if we're like this. Some people are just going to go off the deep end, man. I hate to say that, but that's just how it's going to be. Like, some people just can't. I'm sure everyone knows people like that. You got to really check in with those people and make sure they're all right, because that's everyone I talk to is like, today's the day to start working on your head and making sure you're good, because it ain't. I promise you, it ain't gonna happen next week. It's only gonna get weirder, man. And that's so important, man. Now, especially with these weird times, because it could only get weirder. People have isolation and home alone. Some people freak out with that.
Yeah, man.
Not everyone has the ability to like be creative on their own and like get some kind of output.
Yeah. Well, so for me, man, it's been really important. I've been sticking to a schedule.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like, of course, you could be like, oh man, I don't have to be anywhere, so I can stay up all night and sleep in and all this kind of stuff. I'm like, nah, man. I get up in the morning. You know what I mean? First thing, I meditate for an hour.
Brilliant.
And then, then I handle like some emails, things like that. Go for like a nice long walk.
For sure.
After that, work out, come back, deals with some little bit more emails, some more creative stuff, and just like, staying pretty regimented about things, because like you said, man, we don't know how long this is going to last. So to me, it's like, you have to have that marathon mentality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's like, man, I gotta, do what you can do to just stay sharp as long as you can, because you just like, so you don't freak out.
That's what I worry about. I mean, that's the thing I worry about most. It's not like, it's funny because like people always talk about like apocalypse and the world, like crazy shit, the government coming and all that stuff. But like, this ain't that. This is just this other weird thing that no one really thought was going to happen. And like, it's very fortunate that we can still go to the store and get food. We don't got to worry about food. You don't got to worry about electricity. Those are like the panic and the world shit that people worry about. Yeah. But luckily, that's not the problem. The problem is really, like I said, I really do think it's going to be people kind of turning on themselves in their head. And like, if you're not dialed in or have some kind of routine that you're at least trying to stick to, like I said, waking up on time, like that's important, man. You can't, maybe you can't go to work every day. I get that. And maybe you're out of a job and shit's really terrible. Of course. I mean, that's a huge problem right now around not just here, the globe, which is even a crazier thought. I keep saying like here in America. Nah, dude, it's the globe, which is nuts. But, staying up, like getting up, doing that, having some kind of regimen, because otherwise, like you said, you'll just stay up till 3, 4 in the night, partying, chatting, whatever, then waking up and just, you're not doing anything, and then you get in a hole of negativity and all that, and it's just so not the time for that. It really is.
Agreed. Agreed.
And I don't hear a lot of people talk about that. You just, the news, of course, is just going to be on panic mode. Like we get that. We know they're just going to. We know what they do. That's fine. But the same thing. Like I don't really check the news in the morning anymore. I'll go look at the headlines. I'll go look at like the numbers. Like I'll go see like how many more cases and shit we got. I'm like, all right, still not looking good. Got it. And I try to just be productive in your own right. Be creative and do what you could do.
Yeah, man, that's the deal, man.
Yeah, that's it, man.
Yeah, man. So what's your deal, man? We're gonna flip back.
Yeah, dude, let's do it. We can go back and forth. That's cool. So, like I said, I used to do like some tech work and stuff like that, and then I did that for years and years. And I got sick of it, so I stopped doing that. And I was always into food, so I kind of opened up a restaurant with a partner of mine. We did that down here in Jersey, and that was cool. And then now with all this, you can't really do that here right now. So it was a seasonal thing too. So it was like a roll of the dice on a seasonal kind of thing. So that's like off right now. Been a musician for years and just playing on and off with bands and stuff. So like that's obviously off now. And in my downtime, like I said, in the past, around the winter time, I started setting this up, doing the streams because my friends, I know a lot of people play video games, stuff like that. My nerd days back in the day playing games all the time, but people on Twitch, like I don't know, like this is on Twitch now. Like I'll send you the link later if you want to see it. I'm sure you've heard of it, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's like it's a crazy thing. Like I went on. I never really got into it and watched it, and I really still don't. I stream to it, but I don't really watch it because there's I mean, there's content for anybody. Like whatever you want, there's some dude streaming it. Just doing weird shit. It's out there, and it's really I think back to like 10, 12, 15 years ago, friends of mine thinking about doing like on the internet, like putting out content, and like back then you didn't have the means. There was no bandwidth. There was no programs to do that, man. So we would, even in college with all my tech kids, like going to college and shit with, like we'd make videos and, we would try to put out content online, but it's literally the technology did not exist then.
Yeah.
But today, all you got to do is find a camera you out in the corner and, bust out your board and plug it in, and you could broadcast to whoever you can get to listen, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been doing. So I've been setting that up. I feel like I know a lot of creative individuals. And like I said, I love to cook, and like I had a restaurant thing going, so I had this like hack chef thing that I do online where I just like I blog out because I'm not like a real trained chef or anything like that, but I like to cook. People seem to like my food. That's a nice thing. So like I do cooking videos, and I was like, I don't want to make a video and edit it. Like there's so much work with. I'm sure like it's one thing to be creative and be like, oh, this is like a funny idea. Like let's do this thing. But then like you make video and you're like, I'm not sitting here for 3 hours and editing this, dude. And I ain't paying somebody to do that. Like that always held me up. So I was like, what if I do just a live thing? Just go live with it. Like that's easier. Then I don't got to edit it, and it's win-win. So that's what I've been doing. So like tomorrow I put out like, especially now, like I said, it's so crazy. Everyone's looking for content. I was like, here's a menu for tomorrow. I'm going to be cooking. I'm going to fire it up at 2 o'clock, kick it in. I got a phone line set up. You could call, ask me a question, whatever you want,
And that's cool.
It's interesting, man. And like some people dig it. There's like this weird little community on YouTube and Twitch that like dig watching, off-brand Food Network type shit,
Yeah.
So I'll just be out there cooking, having a drink, and talking. I'm gonna be cooking anyway, so why not put the cameras on? And it's fun, I got some friends.
Cool.
Yeah, I got friends in the industry. I have them call up and like talk about drink pairings and stuff. It's cool. I don't get famous or rich off of it, but it's fun, especially now. It keeps you occupied. between that,
exactly.
sitting in a corner playing some music for a couple hours, keep my mental state straight. So it's good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I actually like a little while ago. Actually, after listening to like this some podcast I was checking out, and this guy just put out it was like a quick. He usually does like an hour, hour and a half kind of podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But he put out like this little rant, it was like 10-minute thing about specifically about drummers.
Right.
And drummers on Instagram. And so I kind of know about this kind of stuff, but not too much. I know it exists, but I guess there's a lot of videos of like these drummers who just playing all these this crazy stuff.
I know dudes that I play with do it, and then I know some dudes that there's like at least two that come to mind when you say this that are overseas that like put out drum sound kits, and like they just sound, they're amazing. Like this dude's got, I can't remember his name, but he's got a rad kit. But go on, sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
Right. Well, so this cat, his whole point was don't. A lot of people can get become discouraged by watching things like that because it's like, oh man, that guy's so killing and blah blah blah. Like I'll never get to that level,
right. Right.
And his whole point was like, what you're watching a 1-minute video, but this guy, girl, whatever you want, person,
sure, playing
some amazing stuff. But what you didn't see is like how many how many takes it took, and of course it sounds great. So
sure.
He was saying there's a lot of work that goes into that 1 minute.
Oh yeah, for sure. On top of the years and years of training and practice, forget that. Like even put that out.
Exactly.
Like when you bring in the talent, and then there's a lot of work behind just that video.
Right. Exactly.
Man.
So I was bugging, man. I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? One of these days, I would love to go into the studio and go on Instagram Live.
Yeah.
And just kind of show what I'm doing in the studio.
Sure.
I got to the studio one day, and I had an idea. I was just like sitting down at the drums, and I was like, oh, that's pretty dope. So I started recording some groove.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, I didn't get that part on. I didn't start the live feed until after that was done.
Mm-hmm.
But so anyway, after I was like, oh, this would be a great opportunity. So I just turned on the phone and just put it off in the corner or whatever, on the other side of the studio. And I was honestly, I forgot it was going. But anyway, so then after that, I think I was like messing around with like guitar, put some guitar on it, put like some bass on it, put some organ on it. And the cool thing about it was, first, the amazing thing is after I remembered that it was going, I was like, oh man, I stopped it, because it's been going for a while.
Oh shit!
But the response I got from it was mind blowing.
Yeah, man.
Because the thing is, I didn't go in there and like, oh, this guitar part, and I just ripped through it and it was done. It was amazing. I was like, I was working through stuff.
Yeah, you were doing it. You were doing it.
I was doing it, man. I was creating something right on the spot, but it did not come easy.
Right.
And I guess that's the beautiful thing that I wanted to, I guess in the end I wanted to show people is like, yeah, what a lot of people see of me, and all of these musicians I like, especially get to play with, I bowl live and whatever,
Sure.
I mean, like, man, like you see or hear the final product. I mean, live shows maybe a little bit different but we've been doing it a long time. And of course, at the live show, we're playing tunes that we know, we've rehearsed, whatever.
Something you're improvising and doing in the moment is a whole different beast.
Creating that
for sure.
You know what I mean? I was trying to create something. It's like one thing to get in a room with some musicians and improv.
Mm-hmm.
That's still not easy.
No, but that's a different thing, to be fair.
It's a different
that's
thing,
a different thing.
But to show the process. And man, I'm telling you that the response I got was just, I couldn't believe it, man. It was incredible. So it was just, it was just good to show that, man, it's hard for all of us.
Yeah,
you know?
dude. I mean, and everyone's got their own take. It's funny because, like, you'll be you'll be focused on drums and like musicianship, and then you'll got a guy that's focused on, I don't know, pick something that like neither of us have ever even heard of or do on the other side of the world, and that dude's just dialed in. And then one day there's gonna be a guy that watches his video doing that, and it's gonna click something, and then he's gonna be the guy. Like that kind of stuff happens, man. It's really weird. It's a weird like I don't know, there's plenty of quotes about it, but there's only one, universe. We're all just little pieces floating around in it, man. And it's, everyone's connected one way or another. So that creative thing, but learning about how, the creation process works is like you said, improv in a room and jamming is one thing with people, but like watching and not even discussing, but like observing the creative process and how you approach, all right, I got a track over here. How do I want to lay on that? Is this? No, I want this. That is really interesting. Maybe not to everybody, but the people that find it interesting, it's like 10x interesting, Yeah. I think it is, at least. Because when I see people doing shit like that online or like something that's up my alley, I'm just like, oh, man, yeah, you think all those things. Like I'm thinking behind, I'm like, what is he thinking where he got there? Like, how is he doing? Like, what made him say, I want to put this track I got this idea. What is it that does that?
Yeah.
And everyone, that's the beauty of like, people and humans, everyone approaches, we could watch the same video and everyone has a different take on it. So that's, I think that's super cool. I think that's great.
Yeah, man. So that's like, I mean, that's kind of like what I really dig about like the time that we're living in right now.
Yeah.
That we all like, we have the ability to just kind of pull back the veil, like, and show like that. Like I said, man, like I always felt, I just feel like we're all in this together. You know what I mean? Like I never felt like I was. It's really funny, man. Like musicians are a very funny breed. I guess artists in general, But I guess specifically, I can say musicians because I am one. I played instruments and things like that.
Sure.
And it's really funny how like a lot of cats can. A lot of people feel that they're, I don't want to say better than the audience.
Right.
Sometimes, yes. Yeah. But there's like kind of like there's this disconnect, or I'm better because I'm on stage and you're to me, I'm like, well, man, these people are they've paid to see you.
Yeah.
They're paying you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
you're actually there for them.
Right.
You're there for them.
For them.
You got nothing. Yeah.
You wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be able to play on that stage.
Well, if that's not being echoed now more than ever, I mean, this is a good reality check for people with ego in the music business for sure.
Here you go, man.
Because now you go home and you're sitting on a couch just going, I guess I'll record another track for myself and put it out online and see who listens.
Yeah, man.
But, that's part of the game. That's
man.
part of the game, though. Ego and all that, and like the way you look at the audience. I'm sure everyone who's ever played on a stage is guilty of that kind of thinking, for sure. But at the end of the day, that they're there for you.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, hey, look, man. I'm guilty of. I've been,
Of course. I mean, I think anyone who stepped foot on a stage, I think, could probably say the same thing in any respect, not just music. I'm sure that echoes, man, for sure.
Yeah, but I just love that now. Any chance I get, I can show exactly who I am in the process, and like, and just demonstrate to people like, man, we're all in this together. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, I'm very lucky that I've been able to play music as my living, for, I don't even know how long now, man, 30 plus years,
Yeah, that's, you gotta be fortunate to be able to do that. That's amazing, man.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I put a lot of work into my craft.
Yeah.
But without the people without the people who support me, like,
well, that's the thing you always got to remember, right? Because I'm sure there's plenty of musicians out there that don't have that mindset. Even successful ones that do all the touring and make a lot of money from that. You got to remember, it's the people that are there to watch you, there to support you. It's a back and forth, and more than anyone, I'm sure the vibe they bring is a big part of the show. If you step into a room that's got a weird vibe, you're like, I don't know about tonight. But we're going to try. Let's get in there, and you do it. But
Yeah.
it's a big give and take, and it's not just the money from them to you; it's the whole vibe, and that's a huge part of it. That's a huge part of the show, man. Because I mean, I've been to shows. I mean, I'm sure I've seen you guys at Brooklyn Bowl 100 times, where like there's some nights, fire nights, and I'm sure you know it, you feel it, you could tell, and then other nights you're just like, all right, it's cool, it was good. I'm not mad at that, you know. That's just the nature of the beast, though. That's just is what it is. There's nothing around that.
But that's where the But on those nights, I really enjoy those nights, man. When it's a little like tougher crowd.
Yeah.
Or it's,
that doesn't mean it's bad. I'm not saying bad. You know what I mean?
No,
it's different. It's just different.
No, that's when you really need to. That's when you need to work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like not in a bad way, but it's just like
No, it's more your focus shift from my perspective, at least, just to piggyback what you're saying. Your focus shifts a little bit more to working and like angling towards the vibe more. Like, I don't know, it's hard to say. Like, you're trying to anchor it, you know, you're trying to like bring it a little bit more when it's a little off. You're more in tune with it. Does that make sense? I don't know if that's the right word.
And to me, that I love the challenge because and I'm not saying I'm great at this at all.
Sure.
I'm learning, but
I'll say you're pretty great at a drummer, but
the
it's fine.
Great musicians, the great performers can walk into any room and turn it around. They can make that room their own. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's like they're like the people who could walk into a room and just they steal the spotlight. That kind of vibe. Those are true superstars, though. That's a whole different like. There's one thing to be great musicians, and then there's one thing to be that kind of level of person. You step in a room and you could change a vibe. That's a whole different. That's a whole different animal.
And the thing is, man, like there was speaking of the Brooklyn Bowl and Bowl Live, one year we had Daryl McDaniels, you know, DMC from Run DMC on the show, and you know every day before the show we rehearse the art, you know, whoever the guest comes in and we kind of run through stuff.
You do I have to ask, you do that the day before or the day of?
Oh. Day of, man.
At soundcheck at Brooklyn Bowl, because I played there many times. Like in that hour or so, you get there real early. What do you do?
Well, luckily for Bowl Live.
I mean, they shut it down for you. I know you got the whole time.
But before I tell you about that show, I'll give you the rundown.
Yeah, I'm curious from a production standpoint.
Man, so obviously the first day of, you know, there's the crew comes and sets all the stuff up, whatever, and then there's sound check.
Yep.
But after that, the days after that, sound check's done. I mean, there's tweaks.
Yeah, but day two is different than day one.
Yeah, but we usually show up. I think around 1 or 2 in the afternoon for rehearsal. And so we start rehearsing and we rehearse right up until doors, which I think are usually about 6,
5 or
maybe.
6, yeah.
So then, okay, so you're talking like maybe 4 hours, say 4 or 5 hours of rehearsals, somewhere around there, whatever, you know. And then we eat, you know, you eat dinner, take off for a minute or whatever.
I gotta ask, do you get the fried chicken or do you get something else when you're there? Because I've eaten the menu.
I get something else, but trust me, I've had plenty of that fried chicken.
Post-show fried chicken at Brooklyn Bowl is delicious. Pre-show, that's a little bit too much for me, but it is delicious.
Exactly.
It is delicious.
Yeah. So we, you know, eat dinner, and then you may get a chance to get out of there, but usually not. And then you play the show, and then after the show, maybe hang out for a little bit, jet out of there, you know. And in my case, I don't live in New York, so I go to the hotel. You know, you hang after the show, you're kind of amped up, you know what I mean? But so I'm up for a while, go to sleep. I wake up in the morning, and then the first thing I do, I exercise. But then once I'm done with that, I'm starting to learn the tunes. That day
for that day,
and then so I'm learning tunes, either like usually on guitar because that's how I learn songs. You know what I'm saying? And also do that because I never know if there's another drummer's gonna show up.
You might slip around. Who could say?
Right. So I learn all the tunes for that day. Go to rehearsal, rinse and repeat, man.
Right.
So it's a crazy amount of work. I mean, it's like by the end of the, you know, especially when we were doing like 10 nights.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That's a lot of back to back, man.
By the end of that, the first 5 shows, your brain is about to explode because the thing is like you don't just learn those tunes, play them that night, and then forget them.
No, of course not.
Your head just keeps getting full of all this music.
Well, you're also not getting the break because you're doing it.
No,
you're doing
exactly.
it. You're doing it that day, and then the next day, and then the next day.
Exactly.
It's compounding.
So anyway, so in the case of when we were rocking with Daryl with DMC,
Yeah.
man. So he shows up for rehearsal, nicest guy ever. You know what I mean? Just class act, just was, real cool, telling us stories,
Right.
just like
Everything you want it to be.
oh yeah, man. So then we start rehearsing, and dude, it was like he didn't pull back at all. Like he was like rocking rehearsal like there was 10,000 people in the joint. And we're just like, yo, wow.
So great.
And then, man,
That's so great.
So then that night, he comes out, and man, there was you saw firsthand. He's standing right next to me, and I was like, "There's a reason why this guy's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame."
Yeah,
that's just like a straight up superstar, and this is what I'm talking about when, we were doing our thing,
Sure.
When people were psyched, but when
course.
he came out. It wasn't that people were just psyched because DMC was there.
right.
A lot of people were like, whoa, that's pretty cool because it's Bowl Live. But as soon as he started rocking, he took that whole crowd. They were his, man. Like, it was the most incredible thing I'd seen.
And that's crazy for you saying that, man, because you play with a lot of beasts. So, for you to even say that he came up and just dropped it like that. I'm not surprised, but that's that star power, for lack of a better word. I don't even know,
Exactly.
That's just it's one thing to play all the time, be a touring musician, all that, be a superstar, but then you hit that level. That's just those are some special cats.
Yeah, man. And I've been lucky enough, man, that and the funny thing is that I've had that same feeling, that same experience with a few artists we've been lucky enough to play with. It was just like DMC, Stevie Wonder, who else?
Stevie, wow, that'd be crazy.
Dude, that was crazy.
That had to be crazy.
That was crazy.
When was that?
When? Oh man, that was like back early. Oh, maybe 2004.
That's crazy.
5.
I gotta get a tape of that. That's nutty.
Man, so that was actually the most insane thing.
That had to be. I mean, that's just had to be. There's
yeah, man. So we were like out in LA. We were playing at the House of Blues.
Yeah.
And we were rocking the show, and then we were done. Like we finished, got last song, and we were gonna come back for an encore.
Right.
But so our manager comes. He's on the side of the stage. And he's like, Stevie Wonder is here. He caught the show. He saw the whole show. And well, I should say, I should preface that with a friend of ours, a guy we know, said he always kind of claimed that he was going to bring Stevie out to see us.
So it was always like in the air, possibly, maybe a
Right.
Stevie sighting.
So anyway, well, he was there that night. And they were like, so he wants to come out and sit in with you guys. And we're like, what? And we're like, wait, we didn't see him anywhere. It's like,
Sure.
oh, well, his driver had to go out to the car to get his harmonicas,
okay.
So,
all right.
So, we go back out and say, and the funny thing is we were going to encore with Jesus Children of America anyway.
Right.
Like, it was already on it's kind of,
It was all lined up.
Yeah. So I go out and we start playing, and I'm thinking in my head, okay, well, he's gonna come and just play some harmonica and then just leave,
Sure.
like he's not gonna sing, he probably saves that.
Yeah.
For, he's not gonna sing with us. Anyway, so all of a sudden we're playing the tune, and I look over and I just see like this big white figure, and like just and I, like just and I was like, oh shoot, that's Stevie, and everyone's like, yo, he's right, and he was like wearing like this white, he was head to toe in like this big white thing,
This weird robe thing he's got.
Yeah, exactly. So all of a sudden I'm like, they were like, he's ready. So we break it down. I'm like, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage,
No.
Stevie Wonder.
Okay, I can't. What does he even like to say that? Like that's gotta be.
Dude, it was bugged out.
That's
It was
just so
bugged.
nuts, man.
And so the funny thing is, man, like again, this is a sold out House of Blues, right? And I said that, and you could tell, you could hear for like a split second, people are cheering, like before, like people are just talking, you know how it is at a show.
Yeah.
And I said that, and all of a sudden you could tell everyone shut up. They were just like,
What?
Wait, what did he just say? Yeah, like,
Stevie's here?
yeah, and then Stevie walks out and the place went crazy,
I mean,
right? So he walks out and it just starts blowing on the harmonica,
I
and I was just like, yo, this is crazy. He, again, because of how we set up,
right?
Usually all the guests, come in between Krabs and myself.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm right next to Stevie Wonder, like right next to this dude.
And you didn't meet him before this, right? He's just like, I'm coming up. You're mid-set.
Exactly,
Crazy.
I'd never even seen him live before.
Crazy.
So he's blowing, and then he builds it up. He's just killing harmonica solo, and then all of a sudden he stops, and then he starts singing. And I was like, "Yo, we're all looking at each other like this is crazy.
This is insane."
And just to see him sing, not just to hear him, but to see him, like physically, you could see him pulling the notes out from his toes. They went up through his body, his whole body just like vibrate. It was crazy, man.
Man.
It was so crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he's Stevie, dude. I don't even know what else there is to be said. I mean, that you said that you were telling another story, got sidetracked. You just said Stevie, and I was just like, what? That's just insane,
dude.
Man. That's nuts.
Man, and that's the thing, man. It was like, so after the show, we talked with him for a little bit. We're all hanging out, and then he split or whatever, and I ended up hanging out with Zoidus because Rashawn and Ryan Zoidus were out with us at the time, and so we ended up hanging out with some people after the gig. But man, it was like just being on stage with Stevie and like talking with him afterwards. It's like he had this aura about him,
right?
That just was, for a very short period of time, it enveloped me, and it was like it permeated everything around him, and it was crazy, man. People like just that level of it goes so far beyond like stardom or star power. It was like a force of nature.
Yeah, dude, I believe it, man. I believe it. Like it's when you play music with somebody too, it's a whole different like connection, right? It's like you're just grounded in a different way with them. I don't know. It's hard to verbalize, right? I mean, it's just hard to say, but like, yeah, I mean, sitting next to Stevie Wonder playing drums, watching him belt it out. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, that's some kind of medicine. I don't even know what to say. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's just nuttiness. That's nuttiness.
Yeah, but that's the thing, man. It's just like you always talk about the power of music, and just it's a real thing, man. It's a real healing,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, I don't know who said it before, but like, it's the one thing that everyone in the world could agree. You don't need to have a language. You just hear a song and you feel it. You can feel music. It's hard to feel someone talking. You can kind of get an inflection. You can kind of get like, a bass line if you're lucky from hearing someone talk, but you're not really getting like the whole vibe. The song from any other country or language I don't speak, you could hear it and kind of know what's going on. You get that click.
Right.
You click with it. That's music, man. It's weird. Power music. That's a whole different. I mean, people have talked for hours and hours on that. I'm sure. Power music.
But that's the thing, man. It's like, of course, like I said, man, I was lucky enough to rock with Stevie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but the thing
crazy.
is like
crazy.
that shouldn't and I always say also, like, that story shouldn't discourage anyone from still. Of course, he's a great force. But he's also been doing it a very long time. He's talented, no doubt. You know what I mean? But he's been doing it a long time, and but that shouldn't discourage anyone from anybody from. I talk to people all the time. Like, oh man, I'm not really that good, or I'm just starting, or I'm just like, man, don't count yourself out. I mean, don't sell yourself short.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel good, then there's that healing power of music. You don't have to be a virtuoso on an instrument, you know what I mean? Like, that's not the point.
Yeah.
That's cool if you get there, or if you dig that kind of stuff. But the fact that if whatever you're doing, whatever you're playing, if it makes you feel good,
right,
chances are you're gonna make somebody else feel good.
As I say, it's a connection, man. That's it. Like, exactly. Yeah. Like, if as long as it's working for you, there's somebody out there it's going to work for. You know, whether or not it gets to them, different story. But you're doing something right somewhere. You know, and like, that's a great point though, because, you know, just because you play, I think about it a lot, because you know, you get to a certain point, and you know, you're with musicians all the time, and it's like, there's so many guitars, there's a million of everything. You know, there's not the new one of the sun and all that stuff, and you could only be so good at your instrument. And then there's virtuosos, there's peak everything, and there's, you know, garbage level everything. I don't know, garbage, whatever. You know what I mean? Like entry level, and then the best of the best, and there's everything in between. And more often than not, everyone you run into is in between. You know, you're not really hanging out or playing with virtuosos all the time. Right. There's people better than others, and there's like, that's a small window though. You know, like more often than not, everyone's kind of here, and there's a lot of in between, and it's a lot of dynamics. It's a lot of playing with other people, how you vibe with other people to make it really work. That's going to either make you a better player. I mean, this is my opinion at least. It's going to make you a better player and make you want to play more, which is ultimately what's going to make you a better player. Playing all the time and just getting after it and doing it, because you ain't going to get better not doing it, you know? So
there you go.
Practice makes perfect, like the kids say, or the teachers, or the teachers say. Not the kids, the teachers. Someone had a question for you, the chat. I see it up here. They want to know what sparked SOULIVE. What made it start?
Man, well, honestly, that was Pete Shapiro, like the one of the owners of
the man.
He's the very public one of the owners, you know. But Pete, it was literally like his idea, man. When they were about to open the Brooklyn Bowl, he just wanted to do something different, you know. And he was like, and so he was talking to our manager at the time. He was like, yeah, so I'm opening this club and blah blah blah, and I want SOULIVE to, you know, play the opening, and I want them to play 10 nights, and you know, and Pete, he always has big ideas, you know what I mean? So I'm like, what is this dude talking about, man? Like,
10 nights,
man. Exactly, because up at that point, man, we probably the most that we'd ever, maybe we did 3 nights at the most.
What was the first year you guys did it? I can't remember, because I remember when it got announced. I mean, I remember the first time I heard about it, and I want to say it was the first year, because I was following you guys a lot then, and I was just like, that's crazy.
I know.
I was like, I guess they're blowing up. I was like, this is nutty.
No, man, exactly. It was, man. Like, it was crazy, dude. It was such a crazy idea. Like, I didn't think we'd.
I think it's super cool, though, man. I mean, obviously, it's super cool. You don't need me to say it's super cool. It's dope that you guys can even do that, and you get such a great response. I mean, people love that shit, though, man. It's great.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun doing it, you know, and like, but yeah, it was all Pete's idea, man. You know, to be honest, and luckily it worked. I mean, that first year was great. You know, I mean,
they all seem great. They all seem pretty great. But yeah, to your point that you said before, though, I thought about it. You're talking about how that dude was playing drums on that video, and people get discouraged because, you know, so good. But yeah, I just want to say, like, yeah, you watch people, like, I see people on, a lot of these bass videos. I play bass, so I see all these bass videos of people playing. I'm just like, damn, dude, that guy's, wow, he's something. Like, he's got that touch or something. And you can't. I mean, I guess it's very difficult, but you know, it takes a while to watch that and go, it's not me. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay to not be that guy.
Well, so so the funny thing when you bring up bass, man. So I play bass as well, you know, and so before. A few years ago, when I first opened up Iron Wax, the first session was O'Teal, Kofi, Neil, and myself, right? And we were doing the Brothers recording. So anyway, before the session, I was like writing some tunes or getting some ideas down for it, you know. And I would send them around, and I played, you know, on the tunes, I played drums, guitar, and bass, you know, just like lay it all out. And O'Teal, I remember one of the tunes. Well, I think one of the tunes we ended up recording, but he was like, "Yo," he was bugging on the bass stuff that I had laid down.
O'Teal bugging on bass. Oh, so he was digging what you put down. I thought you were saying he was freaking
totally
out about
digging
something.
what I was doing. So
That's gotta be crazy.
So there's an example right there, man. O'Teal he's literally one of my favorite bass players.
I mean, the first time I saw O'Teal, I can't even remember, it was so long ago. But man, yeah, I think the first time anyone sees O'Teal play, you're just like, oh, okay,
exactly, man.
He's a savage, that dude.
But the thing is, man, it's like the way I look at it, and it took me this. I discovered this, this came to me years ago. I was probably about 19 years old. The first time I went to go see, I saw Dennis Chambers play. Incredible drummer. I bugged out after that. I was about to quit.
Yeah, I mean, seeing Chambers do it live will do it.
No, I mean, I'm not joking. I was literally going to quit after that. And then I was like, a couple of days later, I heard this voice in my head. It was like, there's room for everybody.
Yeah, man.
And all of a sudden, I took that to heart, man. And after that, man, I was like, that's true. It's like, O'Teal is incredible, but O'Teal is O'Teal.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like Victor Wooten is Victor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like James Jamerson is James Jamerson.
You can kind of do that if you want, but you ain't gonna be James. You ain't gonna be Vic.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So why not be yourself?
Yeah, you got it.
And that's the thing. It's like for me, I know, I'm not gonna say I know my limitations as a bassist.
Right.
This is where I am right today,
right.
Or that's where I was a few years ago, or whatever. But I know what I like. I'm very comfortable in my voice now.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And O'Teal was digging it.
Yeah.
It's not because he was like, oh man, listen to what, man, I wasn't playing anything, man. That's my style, though.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have a style. I'm comfortable with my style.
And that's why it was good. That's why O'Teal liked it, though, because it was your style. It just worked with what was going on, and that's why it worked. It's not like you were going in there going, now let me do like a Jocko riff on this and see what it sounds like. Why would you do that?
Ridiculous. It would sound horrible. That's what it would sound like.
But but I mean that when.
I think that's Neil.
Yeah. He could do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's stuff like that. It's funny, like when you're a musician, you're younger. I don't know. It's like I don't think you ever think like you're gonna be like I don't know, man. It's hard to put yourself in a younger mindset, like thinking about music like that. But like you listen to all these greats like that, you don't want to be them necessarily. Like you don't listen to as a bass player, you don't listen to Jocko as a kid and go, I'm gonna be Jocko. That's cool. Like you never. That's like your thought, but you're influenced immensely by him. And then like you do a bunch of Jocko stuff, and you're like, all right, but where's that gonna get me? I clearly can't do that like Jocko. So what am I doing? But it's like you said, you found your voice. I think that's the thing, and I think that's the thing in like everything really. It's not just music, man. It's like finding really your lane. Finding your voice and what you're like in whatever it is you're doing, and that's the way to like connect with other people, no matter who it is.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like, what is great?
That's a great question, man. I say that.
Like, what is okay, so you have all these, like, you can have like these examples of like, we'll bring up O'Teal.
Sure.
O'Teal is, but I always had a lot of respect for Bob Dylan for his writing, but it's like, this is what I'm speaking from with my younger voice now. You know what I mean? Like, but man, Bob Dylan, he can't sing. You know what I mean? Like Donny Hathaway can sing.
Yeah.
Bob Dylan can't sing. Like like Bob Dylan can't play guitar. Like Hendrix can play guitar. Like this that. So this is my younger stuff.
Yep.
Man, and luckily I don't think like that anymore because especially speaking of Bob Dylan, recently I watched the Rolling Thunder documentary. Yo, that is some of the most incredible performances I've ever seen in my life, man. Bob Dylan is a absolute beast.
I mean, people say that seeing him live and like peak Dylan, when you saw him live, they said it was like life-changing shit. But I guess part of the issue with Dylan is when you see him live, he just kind of does whatever he wants, and sometimes it ain't peak. But that's
my point. But I guess what I'm saying is in terms of greatness, what at least what I understand now, what I appreciate now, being I just turned 46. It may change in a few years or whatever,
Sure.
but right now, what I appreciate is someone's intention,
Mm-hmm.
their and their voice. You know, it's like I love with Dylan. We'll bring Dylan up again. There is no, you always know it's him.
Without a doubt. I mean, he's one of the most identifiable sounds.
Exactly.
You know, no
And
question.
to me, that's that is a part of being great. You know what I'm saying?
I think I had this discussion with a guitarist friend of mine because he was over. He lives in California. He used to play with him. Jeremy Corpus, good man.
Mhm.
I think we've stood next to each other and watched you guys play many times. But we were talking about, he's a great guitar player. We were talking about identifiable tones of guitarists over time, and I think it inevitably led to a conversation of like, that is the greatness when you just hear a certain guitar plays like two notes, right away, who it is.
Yes.
That tells you that's one of the greats. And I think this conversation came up because we were watching Schofield videos.
Schofield. I knew you were going there,
Yep,
man, because how can't you go there?
When you hear one note of Schofield playing, I don't care what album it is,
Yep.
immediately it's Schofield. And it's not just because of this effect or that effect, because you could hear him playing clean. It's just, they say it's in your fingers. The second that dude touches a string, you just know that dude is dialed in. He's the guy. And I can't think of it. I mean, I'm sure there's a list, but I can't think of other people off the top of my head that play guitar that are dialed in like that. Kraz is like that. Kraz has got a tone that you hear and for sure.
Oh yeah,
but
man.
Like that.
And that's the funny thing, like about guitar, but any instrument really. Again, when you're younger, and not necessarily in age, but just in say experience. You know what I'm saying? The younger player is usually after, I wouldn't say the wrong things because it's all a journey.
Yeah.
But it's not about the amp. It's not about the pedals. It's not about the guitar. It's nice. It's great to have nice instruments.
That helps, sure, yeah.
It helps if in your expression of your ideas. But man, like bring up Sko for instance. One time, man, we were in a rehearsal for some show that we were going to play with Sko. We were in some busted rehearsal studio in Lower Manhattan, and we were all there, before he got there, and there was like a super crappy AC-30. I mean, the thing barely worked, you know what I mean? And like, we're like, oh man, this is crazy. This is kind of embarrassing. Sko's about to show up, and we got, I plugged into it. I'm like, yeah, man, this thing is done. You know what I mean? It's horrible. Anyway, Sko shows up. I'm like, hey man, sorry about it. He's like, whatever, it's cool, And he plugged in. I think he may have brought like a overdrive pedal or something. Nothing special, But anyway, he may not even have used it.
Sure.
But he plugged into that amp, dude, and it was just like
he made it new. He just ripped it.
Yeah, man. And it's so funny, man. Like the things that people get caught up in. Like looking at the pedal board and looking at like what drumsticks are using, or looking at what keyboard, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I have no problem telling people what we're using, and I'm but man,
you're just not going to make that sound. You could have that studio with entirely the same gear you have. You're just not going to make that sound unless you guys are there. That's the bottom line. But I mean, I guess people got to learn that. Like you said, it's part of the journey. It's all a journey. And, learning about gear and getting jacked on gear is part of it. There's always a time to be like, man, gear's great. I love seeing gear, playing with gear. That's fun. But that don't make you a better player. That don't make you, that don't give you that sound just because you bought Sko's guitar. You ain't sounding like Sko. That just don't happen. It's just not going to happen.
No.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's crazy. That's really crazy.
Yeah. So, but it's again, these are just things that you learn over time, and I still have a lot to learn. It's a never-ending journey.
The learning never ends. A friend of mine just said. He said it took me a long time to realize music isn't a competitive sport; it's art. That's it, man. That's it.
Man, I like that. Yeah,
that's a good one.
Yeah, that's the truth, man. That's the truth.
I have to ask you a question because I thought about this. So, like I said at the beginning, I told you I was doing doing tech work for years, right? So I was doing tech work in Brooklyn for years, and I worked at this place, and we would always eat down in downtown Brooklyn. And there was this, like, I don't even remember. I don't think it's there anymore. But I could swear to God, and I remember it to this day, because every time I think of SOULIVE, I think of this. I was eating lunch in this place. It was like a French place. And I looked down the hallway one day, and I could have swore I either saw you or Neil wheeling out a B3 out of this place. And I was like, was that? Nah, that's fine. Did you ever like have a rehearsal or something like that in Dumbo down there or something like that? I was like, maybe they rehearse up here because it was like a weird loft situation. Now that I got you, I gotta ask just because. Because I was like, that could be out at Neil. It was I don't even remember exactly where it is. It was somewhere in Dumbo. You know, it's probably an elevator shaft or some shit. And I was just like, I think that's them because it might have been happening during Bowl. I think I was seeing you that night. Maybe that's why I was like, my keys were dialed in. And I was like, they rolling gear out right now. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's totally possible, man.
It's just a silly question. I mean, this is probably like 10 years ago. I was just thinking.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, man, you got. I appreciate that, man. You gotta keep my memory sharp.
I remember because I was sitting there, I was eating, I was like, I think it was a bowl lab. Maybe you guys were just playing Brooklyn Bowl, whatever it was, and I was just like, I'm pretty sure that was Alan or Neil just wheeling out a massive B3 right now, like through the middle of this restaurant. Like, it was like a weird setup, and there was definitely like studios upstairs, like for sure. And that's when I was just like, what's going on here? What is this place? What is this place? But they're no more, that place. Not anymore either. But what was that?
Yeah. I mean, I would say the chances of that are pretty high.
I figured because I think around the time you guys were down there at least a lot, so I was like, of course they're probably here. I was like, why would they not be?
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah. I don't remember like what it was that made me think it was you guys. Like there was something that just triggered, you know. Again, I might have been seeing you that night and just been hyped and thinking about it. Like I'm not sure, but I just thought about it to ask you. It's so weird. Like even if it doesn't matter. But it's just in my head. It's so funny.
Yeah. I guess or like who There's not. I guess there's not that many people, you know, trying to roll around with an organ and
not down there. Definitely not down there.
Exactly.
I was down there. I was like, there's only a couple people down here that like that, and they were sporting. I was like, I don't know, man.
Yeah. That sounds about right. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. So. Yeah, so what else is going on, man?
Not too much, man. You know, just avoiding the coronavirus, trying to stay alive. You know, doing this stream business, I guess, just seeing who I can get to dial in and call in and come in. Hopefully in the coming days I can get some people down here to actually perform. And trying to get like some eyes on this, you know, to see what's happening here. It's interesting. It's a weird time. Like we were talking about before. It's a weird time to be creative and trying to be creative and getting your stuff out there.
It is, man, but I think there's gonna be an amazing output.
Oh yeah,
of creativity because of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, weird, not bad, just weird. You know, definitely not bad.
I think it's gonna be amazing, man. You know, I've been thinking a lot about, and especially in these conversations I've been having with people, and just thinking like, man, there's a lot of people who probably don't have or haven't had the time to really explore their own creativity because
definitely.
You're working a job or whatever, and I feel bad for everybody who's out of a job.
So many people out of jobs, man. It's brutal.
But I think with that said, a lot of people are going to find themselves with a lot of time that they didn't have before, or like you can't really make that excuse, making an excuse or
yeah, I don't know. To that point,
time to do it.
I was hearing someone talk about something in that vein. They were saying how, obviously the front of this, of course it's terrible. Everyone's losing their job or stuck at home. There's a virus killing people. Of course, we know all that. But, if you're going to try to be positive and try to take the good out of it, you're home with your family. You got a wife and kids and stuff that you never see because you're working 90 hours a week, whatever, and now you're shut down. You got no job. Okay, but let's look at the positive, man. You're home now with your wife and kids, whether you like it or not. And, you could get to that project that you didn't want to do. You could do that single creative thing you wanted to do. You wanted to learn how to play guitar. Go pick it up, man. See how it goes. You wanted to build that garden. Go get on it. You don't have the excuse now. You only have the excuse if you're making it. It's on you.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's and that's probably something hard to wake up with and be like, why am I not doing these things I want to do now? Then that's a whole different level. And that goes back to the mental stuff, man. Like I was saying, you got to get that mentality in check for this because we're in a weird, funky state. I keep coming back to it. I feel like I don't want to be a downer, but we're in this weird, funky state where it's so important to be mentally in check and physically in check right now because it's open ended, man. It's scary. And I go back and forth from like we just said, from being like optimistic and happy with, just the output of friends and stuff I see doing stuff and like just new shit, and that's cool. I think that's super great. And then sometimes I'm sure everyone's the same way. You get a little scared. You're like, I don't know, man. Like, what does this mean? I keep thinking.
Well, what it is, man, is I truly feel that when it all settles, and however you want to take that,
right?
But the world is going to be a lot different.
Yeah, without a doubt.
What was a few weeks ago or a couple months ago.
Yeah.
It's the world is going to be different.
I mean, we don't have a choice. Yeah, someone was, equating it to like 9/11 and stuff like that. And I was like, this is a little different than that, man. I mean, this is tragic and all that, but this is a different thing. This is a whole different beast. This is changing the globe in a big, big way.
Yeah, man.
And, not to get too serious about it, but like, I was asking, like I said, I had all those people on from like around the world talking yesterday about like my friends of mine, just about, what is it like by you? And I thought that was really interesting to hear, like what it was like in France and California and all that stuff. And then the question that came up, I was like, and I scratch my head. I say it every day, every time I talk to anybody. I go, what is the like headline? What's the news story? What's the bullet point that comes out where we're back to normal or whatever the new normal is going to be? What is that? And I think until you could even guess what that is, we got some time, That's what I keep thinking. And that's scary-ish and comfortable at the same time. Like, it's weird. Yeah. But, because what do you got to wake up and see where you feel you can go out to a show again, or you can go out to a restaurant again, or, be within 4 feet of a friend,
Yeah.
And I know what, there's no answer for that. That's obviously like a weird question, but that's what I keep talking to people about. It just, it's strange. It definitely changes.
Strange,
it definitely changes the future.
I know things are going to get better.
No, I don't think it's a bad. It's not like we're going to come out weird. Like I think when we were talking about it, I think it's almost like it'll be like a gradual thing into this. Like, I hate saying new normal, but like that's kind of what it'll be, right? But like it's going to be this weird gradual progression because everyone's going to kind of have like I feel, maybe my opinion, like everyone's going to have like a weird PTSD, whether you know it or not, because you've been, I'm talking to you now and I'm talking to my friends. Maybe I'm talking to people even more now, right? But the social interacting thing has been dropped off so much. So like who said it today? I was listening to some radio or podcast or something. They were saying, are you going to want to go get your hair cut after this?
Right.
Are you going to go and want to sit next to a barber? And I was like, I didn't even think about that. I mean, I thought about so many other things. But I didn't even think about that. Is he going to want to stand next to you and cut your hair? It's like that changes a lot of dynamics. Like social dynamics you haven't even thought about are going to be on the table once we, stretch and open the door tomorrow, whenever this is over. And that's really interesting, man. And that's, it's just interesting conversation to have. It's not that it's bad or scary. I do agree it'll be better in the future because this kind of does make everybody pump the brakes in a way, which maybe everyone in the world kind of needed, in a weird way.
Exactly.
So you gotta look at the positive. If you're not, you'll just be.
Have to, man.
I'm generally pessimistic, but you gotta look at the positive sometimes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, man. Well, on that note, man, we're gonna
positivity, brother.
Positivity. That's the deal, man.
Well, dude, I will thank you for coming on my bit and thank you for putting me on your bit, dude. That was so fun, dude. Super fun. Thanks so much, dude. I'm gonna send you a link to all this so you can at least see what I'm doing over here so you can check it out.
Thank you. I can't wait to check it out, man.
Yeah, dude. And if you ever want to do it again, I'm here.
All right, man.
I'm in the bunker, baby.
Cool, man.
I'll talk to you, man. Be good.
All right, Billy, man. Yeah, peace, man.
Appreciate you, good, man. Be good.
All right, man.
Just casually talking to a really cool dude. Not a big deal, guys. It's all good. Not a big deal. Just casually talking to him. It's fine. It's no big deal. He's my boy. It's all good. It's casual hanging out with Alan. It's not a big deal. I'm not jacked at all from hanging out with Alan Evans. This is fine. It's not a big deal. It's totally just super cool. Normal. Just a normal day over here. Just hanging out, talking to one of my favorite drummers of all time. Just normal. Totally normal Friday night. It's totally normal. 843 Rebel TV taking your calls. Let me send him a message right now. I'll be right back. I'm going to take a break. No, we're not. I'm going to send him a message. That was super great. Wow. How exciting was that? I didn't know they played with Stevie. I want to pull that up now. Let's see. I gotta pull this up. That was amazing. That was so cool. That was so cool. Oh, here's the video. We could play this? I mean, he was just on the show referencing this. This is crazy. Show off this garbage music in the back.
Yeah.
Put this on. That's not it. Fix this.
So right about now, we're going to get into a little root.
Oh, man, that's him. This is crazy. So this is him in that exact moment that he was talking about in that story. Oh, my God, this is amazing. I got the video immediately. This is great. This is him in that exact moment playing that song when Stevie came out, doing that intro we were just talking about.
Of Soul Live.
I'll pull it back. Give it to him, Alan.
Woo! It's feeling good up in here now.
This is amazing.
Yeah. So right about now, we're going to get into a little roots of Soul Live.
Uh-oh.
We're going to do a little
It's good to know Stevie's just hanging out in the corner right now wearing white robes.
Stevie Wonder.
Oh.
Any Stevie Wonder fans in the house?
Oh, wait, this isn't
Hey,
the one where he
Stevie
comes
Wonder
out.
fans in the house. Yeah.
This isn't the one with. This is just says Stevie Wonder. Ah, boo. Sorry I let you all down. I can't play that anymore. I got kicked off. I was just super jacked. Ah, that was so fun. Just talking to, get that out of here. Get that garbage out of here. Turn that off. Production team, turn that off. There you go. Ah, dude, that was so great. That was so great. He was super cool, man. How cool was Alan Evans? Everybody. Studio audience, how cool was Alan Evans? Oh, that was dope. That was cool, man. Oh, what did you just do? Send me a video? Oh, he sent me the video.
I got you now.
Oh, there we go. Oh, man. I don't want to look at myself. I hate looking at myself. Shit. Sorry, just chatting with him, man. All good. I've never met him before. No, I've never talked to him before. I've only talked to him in emails about getting together. That's it. We talk like old friends. 'Cause me and him are old souls, you know. Me and Alan, we go way back to about 4 days ago when we emailed each other. Really crazy. Crazy times back then. Different times. Ah, that was super fun. That was great, dude. He's so cool, man. That was such a great talk, such a great chat. Great stories. He's got a great vibe. He's such a great drummer. Really, really cool. I'm so happy and fortunate that that occurred. I wish it wasn't on Skype. I don't really like Skype a lot. But it's all good. Super cool. Alan Evans and SOULIVE being the man. Showing face. Telling great stories. Sending messages of great positivity and encouraging creativity. Just beautiful. What a great dude. All right. Super cool. Super cool. What else we got going on here? We ran the news down earlier. We had a nice little chat with Alan Evans, which is super cool. Thank you guys for being here and chatting along and enjoying it. That was cool. Thanks to Alan Evans for chiming in, spending an hour with us, hour plus. Good man. Hold on, let's give him a soundboard clap again. Oh yeah, that's for him. There it is. That's for the man. Awesome. Great. So I think that's a wrap. I don't know what else we could say here on the show. I think we could wrap this one down. We're not going to beat that. Tomorrow on the program, we have 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be going live with Hack Chef from the kitchen, cooking a full menu, making some cocktails, talking about how to make some drinks, talking about how to eat better, talking about cooking, talking about this, talking about that. It's going to be great. Gonna have some guests call in, maybe. I don't think Alan Evans is gonna call in, but he might call in. Who could say? He's welcome to call in anytime he wants. He's got the hotline. We're going to be cooking stuff all day tomorrow, a couple hours. Going to set up shop. I'm literally just going to fire up the cameras in the kitchen and just go. So it's going to be hanging all day tomorrow. So it's going to be a full hang tomorrow. Full hang in the kitchen, Hack Chef. So check it out online at Hack Chef. Check out everything Alan's got going on. I think everyone who's here probably knows what he's got going on. He's got Iron Wax. Make sure you check out on Iron Wax. Check out SOULIVE when they're back in town doing the goodness. Always the goodness. What else we got? Yeah, so tomorrow, Hack Chef, afternoon, Sunday, probably not doing a damn thing. And then we'll just be back at it Monday, doing it again. Looking for more people to chat with, talking all kinds of stuff, man. Whatever we could talk, you know. Hopefully things are good by you. Hopefully you're healthy and happy and enjoying your Friday night, wherever you may be. Make sure my effects will work here. Wherever you may be in lockdown. I love that I found that. I should have never hooked my board up like this. Lockdown. Oh man, production values are huge. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. All right, turn that off. That's obnoxious. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Thank you very much, Alan Evans, for joining. That was super, super cool. Hopefully, we can get him again and do a chat. He said he wanted to come and jam. I don't know. Maybe we could find some time. I don't know. Just kidding. He didn't say that. He would never say that. He doesn't want to come jam with me. He's playing Schofield and Stevie Wonder. Ah, boy. I kind of don't want to. I kind of want to break. I feel like there's more to be done here, but I guess not. I guess we could wrap it. Like I said, we got plenty of stuff. Tomorrow's gonna be a full day. Like I said, in the kitchen at Hack Chef. I'll probably move this whole thing to the food and drink section of your online entertainment bit. Cooking, drinking, and taking phone calls all day. So like I said, call the hotline during the day, say hello, check in, tell me what you're cooking, we'll chat, social interaction in the new modern world. Okay. 8:15-ish. Excellent. Is anyone else out there? Where are we at? If anyone's got a phone call, we'll take a phone call. 843 Rebel TV. 843 Rebel TV. We'll take a phone call. I got time for a phone call. If you want to call up. Like I said, you call the line. Oh, did I fix this? I should actually test this. Oh, yeah, it works. If you got a call it up. 843 Rebel TV. We'll take your call. Answer your questions. If anything you want. All your questions. You want to know what this thing is? I'll tell you. Call and ask. Otherwise, I got stuff I got to get to later. You have 5 minutes while I finish up by cleaning up my emails here. This is a nice thing about having my computer right in front of me. I can clean up my emails while I stream and entertain the masses, as they say. Okay. Yep. Don't need that. Has everyone else been getting emails from like every company you've ever purchased something from ever telling you that we've been seriously considering the COVID-19 pandemic and we're here for you? Banks, that place you bought like a silly holiday gift from like an Instagram thing once, banks, a lot of banks just sending me things saying we're here for you, but you still got to pay your bills, but we're still here for you. I got a litany of concerned mails from corporations. Now, my question is, like, what's the meeting that they have where they go, the one thing that we really need to do is reassure all of our customers that we're thinking about this virus. Yeah, we know you're thinking about it, dude. That's all there is. That's all we got right now. That's all we're thinking about. That's all you're thinking about. I get casino emails all the time. This fucking thing. I get casino emails all the time. We're in response to the COVID. Not the email that comes out that they put that says, in response to the COVID-19 virus, we're closing our doors and, please help us out any way you can. No, not that email. The ones that are like telling you and reassuring you that we're here for you. Here's one from AT&T. What we're doing and what you need to know. AT&T, here's what I need to know from you. The fucking phones are going to work. That's it. In fact, nothing really changes for you in this disaster pandemic. You just keep doing what you do. I don't need an email from you that says, in recent weeks, we've all felt the change to our daily lives. In times like this, we want to stay connected to the people that we care about, as well as news, information, education, and even entertainment. Our teams across AT&T are honored to keep you connected to what matters to you most. Let's take a look at how many people they fired this week. Keeping you connected is what we've always done and we always want to do. You'll find the latest on how we're assisting our customers and communities at our AT&T COVID-19 website. If anyone that doesn't need a specialized COVID-19 website, it's fucking AT&T. Unless you're putting out a whole separate antenna system infrastructure to help people, I don't see the need for this whatsoever. And here comes the pitch. You can manage your services and pay your bills online at att.com. We've also reduced hours and taken extra cleaning and social distancing precautions in all of our stores. Click this link to go store locator to find out about the status of a store near you. Are AT&T stores considered essential? Is the government letting them stay open? Am I talking to no one? Oh, there's people here. You're not nuts. Yeah, you're nuts. You're not nuts. Just talking to yourself. It's fine. You know, after doing hours and hours of streams this week, you go a little nuts. Kind of like it's like Jack Nicholson in The Shining a little bit. You go a little, your head starts to go a little bit, but then you can reel it in. It's like manageable. He reeled it in, right? He reels it in at the end. That's the sequel. He reels it in. So it's like that. I'm confident enough to say it's like that. All right, let's clean up the rest of these emails and get the AL out of here. Always taking submissions for new music beds that aren't these 20 songs that I keep looping. Because honestly, I'm sick of finding new garbage free use music. So if anyone out there has some free use music they want to send me, send it my way. Because I need a good bed behind me. You can't just sit here like this. AT&T emails. They emailed me today. Here, hold on. Let me find it. Can't do that. You need some kind of energy behind you, even if it's not the best. This stuff's not bad. I picked the best ones I could find, and they're pretty good. But you know, we need the hot shit. Where the hot shit at? Overload. Actually, you can go there. Oh yeah, I forgot I could mute this. Every day I'm learning a little bit more. You can mute individual tabs. Really good audio. This is a good audio school here. Although I would never say I'm an audio professional. But I can produce your content pretty goddamn well. So if you have a show idea and you want to get on the Rebel Vision TV, give me a holler. Because we could just hold your show. I reached out to somebody today who's doing great work. Doing musical stuff every day at a certain hour. I was like, dude, keep doing your thing. Give me the link to your stuff, and I'll just put it on my channel on the Twitch and the YouTube, and we'll put your stuff up there so you get paid. I was like, I'm not getting paid from it. We'll just put your name in a corner, and we'll put your tip jar stuff, and you get paid. Like, you know, more eyes, more gooder. Everyone wins with that. I can't do 24/7 content, but that's the idea behind the channel. That's the idea behind Rebel Vision. You keep the channel up, and you just keep pumping out content. It's not about me. I'm just here because there's no one else here. You get someone else, you want to sit back here, do some work, get back here, all right? Holler at me. Be entertaining. Get back here. Great. Oh, man, D&D going down? Crazy. All right, I'm definitely going to watch that D&D stream. I'm definitely going to get in on that. I'm excited to watch. I do have some things to tend to prior to that, though. But luckily, I'm not playing. I'm just observing. I could use my Friday. Again, tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, RebelVisionTV.com and or twitch.tv/RebelVisionTV. I'll be doing the Hack Chef show. We'll be cooking all day, doing all kinds of goodness. In fact, I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to prep a little chicken for tomorrow, and I think I'm going to go live on Instagram with it, just a shill for tomorrow. Because that's what you got to do. You got to shill If I bang over here, you can hear it. I gotta shill for the kids. So I'm gonna go shill. I'm gonna shut this beast down, and we're gonna call it a night. So thank you again to everybody who's watching the show. Thank you for the chat and the questions and being with me for hours. Thank you again endlessly to Mr. Alan Evans for joining us and talking to us about this new world, and thank you so much to him for doing what he's doing with his Kicking It With Al series, where he's inspiring creatives to just be more creative. So that was super cool. So thank you, Al. You are the man. So let's call this a wrap, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the Hakshef program at 2:30 p.m. Thank you for joining. This has been the Billy Vegas Show. We out. See you.